Thank you to Acorns and Huel for sponsoring this video. More on them in just a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope the Force is strong with you today. We hope that you are feeling great today. And if you're not feeling great, we hope that checking in with us helps uplift your mood. We are about to watch a movie together that we've been teasing that we might end up doing. And in the past few days, John and I have been credulous. We have been looking forward to this for so long.
Yeah, this is
like
one of the most exciting shoots that we've had in a long time, I feel like. Just because all the build up through Andor and then like finally realizing like, man, it's been since the theaters
almost
for both
10
of us.
years.
Yeah, like I'm always looking forward to shoots here, but like this one has been especially on my mind.
It's especially been on my mind too because I love the idea of being able to revisit something where, sure, we know like how it ends. In a way, in a sense. Like, it was kind of like when I watched Harry Potter. I was like, I know Harry wins. I can't remember for the life of me how he wins.
I love specific details, and two, especially in a continuum like this, like, okay, so what are the actual events of this particular movie and not just like events that we know are tied into this movie?
Yeah, when you first watched this movie, it was, that thing at the crawl of the beginning of A New Hope.
Yeah.
And it's based off this one sentence. Okay, and now we're watching this with a completely different type of perspective.
Yeah, totally.
And
as the culmination of a whole other thing.
Yeah, and so much different Star Wars-y things have occurred since then. So, guys, we're enthusiastic about watching this. Please leave a like on this video. That lets us know that we made the right call here. Maybe we'll continue on with the Star Wars franchise.
I would love to revisit. I could do with a revisit of the Star Wars franchise.
I feel like we'd be watching it with a completely different point of view.
Totally.
You know, I think it would really affect that, especially after some of the shows lately and stuff. And subscribe and click the notification bell in case we do that or something pops up here that is of your interest. Also, this is Rogue One. This is a sci-fi fantasy movie. We're uploading this on a Wildcard Wednesday more than likely, but our sci-fi Sundays or fantasy Sundays, all of our sci-fi fantasy movie reactions go up on Sundays generally. And we have a genre schedule for the rest of the week as well. And Patreon is a fantastic way to support the channel. Thank you guys so much who have pledged from Andor, for any of the other shows, and for following us on this journey and for being willing to contribute your hard-earned dollars our way to help us still have the best living in the world, getting to do a YouTube channel. So thank you guys so much. And also RejectNationShop.com is an amazing way to extend your love and be able to showcase, wear the apparel, be a symbol of the Reject Nation. So thank you guys so much. Either way is a great way to support the channel. If you can't do that, no worries. Just stick around, watch, leave a like. Anyway, guys, let's do this. It's kind of cool to be getting that again.
Yeah. Oof.
If I'm not mistaken, Tony Gilroy was brought in to do rewrites during reshoots, and then he sort of just kind of took over.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% clear on what the case was there, but yeah, it definitely became like a doctor job all around with him.
Wow, that's beautiful.
The Shadow of the Ring. Shadow of the Empire.
It's fun feeling this out because there he is. It's kind of feels like when a show gets a sequel, a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Jyn, gather things, it's time.
Oh, little Jyn and Beard Mickelson.
But the cinematography, the whole look, Blue Milk, the whole look translates.
It's happened. He's come for us.
You know what to do.
Uh-oh. I was going to say, he had a bigger beard last time we saw him and more hair.
But I think this is a flashback.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair. They're going to have to re-age him now.
Jyn, come here. Whatever I do it to protect you. So you understand?
I understand.
Wow, so much editing.
I love you, Stardust.
I love you too, Papa.
It's like kind of frantic cuts.
Sinister.
This works really well with experiencing Krennic in season 2 and getting him back here and this as like the cinematic villain for this.
Like, you know it's bad, but now that we know him and are going into this.
You know where to go, don't you? Trust the Force.
I like this child only got her mother's accent.
Well, no one sounds like Mads Mikkelsen.
That's true. It's refreshing to also see him play
Not a villain.
good. Yeah. Like.
Farming. Really? Man of your talents?
Oh yeah, he is in his high rank.
Since Lewa died, yes.
He's missing all his blue squares.
Oh, my condolences. Search the house.
Patronizing. Oh.
That was so good. I was actually questioning whether or not he meant it.
Yeah.
The work has stalled. I need you to come back.
I won't do it, Krennic.
We were on the verge of greatness, to providing peace and security for the galaxy.
Peace and security.
My mind just isn't what it was. I have trouble remembering even simple things.
You're an inspired scientist, but you're a terrible liar.
That was genuinely a terrible lie.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, here's Lyra back from the dead. It's a miracle.
It's a miracle.
No.
You're not taking him.
No, of course I'm not. I'm taking you all.
Oh, so they were
Ugh.
formerly part of the Empire and then they defected?
Lyra, put it down.
Think very carefully.
Oh man.
Or maybe before the Empire formed?
You will never win.
Do it.
Oh boy. Or maybe they were brought in under false pretenses, thinking they were working on something less sinister.
They have a child. Find it.
Oh, to watch your mother killed and to have to stay silent.
Oh. Literally into the valley of the shadow of death.
It's cool that they build up Erso in the show, so when you go into this, it feels like a rewarding flashback payoff.
Totally. Whoa. Voodoo doll.
Is it Giacchino score? Sounds like him.
Better call Andrew Gordon.
Kill the mom with a solid shot.
The black troopers got it done. It's the black belt, actually, that you just rise the same way you do in martial arts. So just the Empire has the most white belts.
It's symbolic, John.
Yes.
Looking for light in the darkness.
Ooh.
My child. Come.
This must be before he was a drug addict.
Yeah, before the Rido.
We have a long ride ahead of us.
We have a long ride ahead of us. What a segue line. It's very Star Warsy.
I did not expect that title.
And they didn't call it a Star Wars story. Although I guess if you're going to do a time jump, that's the place for the title card. Oh, damn. I forgot about that. Prisoner of the Empire.
Then you're going to the stormtroopers.
What a contrast to being saved from the hole, only to be put back in
Kafreen.
the hole. Kafreen! Where's Tivik? Hey.
This is also a very exciting time in the Disney Star Wars pantheon.
Yeah. So much hope and potential.
Damn, the continuity of the hair.
Yeah.
Hair continuity. That's kind of hard to achieve.
I was about to leave. I came as fast as I could. I have to get back on board. Walk with me.
Uh-huh.
They'll leave without me. Easy. You have news from Jeddah. Come on.
Oh, this actor.
An Imperial pilot. One of the cargo drivers. He defected yesterday.
What a different feeling now when Andor shows up.
The Kyber crystals, that's what they're for. What kind of weapon? A planet killer!
Damn.
Someone named Erso sent him, some old friend of Saw.
Jyn Erso.
Was it? I don't know. They were looking for Saw when
Oh,
we
this
left.
ties in so well.
Literally feels like it's just season 3.
Yeah.
Who else knows about
I have no idea. It's all falling apart. There's spies everywhere.
Spies everywhere.
Come on, let's see some scan docs.
Yeah, of course. My gloves.
Hey.
Cowboy.
I'll never climb out of here, my arm!
Jesus, man.
Calm down. Calm down. We'll be all right.
Whoa!
Whoa, he's
Cold.
Luthen now.
He is Luthen now. Jesus. He literally just Lonnied him.
Wow, and he did that in such a cold way.
Yeah.
And confident. And
I'm bummed. That guy's a good actor. I saw him on a serial killer show with David Tennant.
oh.
Whoa.
What crazy architecture.
Yeah.
A fallen face.
I wonder if I even caught that the first time. Cool.
Hey, homeboy's back.
Is that him?
Oh, shit.
Okay, so you're Saw Gerrera?
Oh, fun. Okay. I see.
I need to speak to Saw Gerrera. I keep telling them before it's too late. No, we need to get to Jeddah City. What part of urgent message do you guys not understand?
Jyn Urgent. Wow. What a gripping image. What
It's like a god has fallen.
Yeah. Well, and it does look like, the remnants of some old Jedi something or other.
Imperial labor camp. I would prosper here.
Breaking rocks all day, every day.
It's a testament to Andor of how the cinematic quality of the movie and the show look exactly alike.
Yeah.
The fact that they literally can do a television show that looks just exactly like the movies.
I don't know. Must be another pickup. I thought we had everybody.
Not everybody.
Liana Halleck!
You want to get out of here?
Hey, move at me!
Why?
Whoa.
Why? Why? They saved you.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, damn.
Congratulations. You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
Glad to see you.
That's a great introduction line.
Yeah.
Yavin 4. Yavin
Hey.
4 has exceptionally more context now.
Yeah, they said that they're mastering, that they have mastered some of the episodes of Andor to be played in theaters.
Oh, cool.
Season 2, yeah. I feel like you could just crush a few of those episodes together and make them a movie.
This experience is wild.
Yeah.
This actually feels like the next season of Andor.
You're currently calling yourself Liana Halleck. Possession of unsanctioned weapons.
Legit forgot he was in this movie.
Yeah.
Forgery of Imperial documents. Aggravated assault. Escape from custody. Resisting arrest. Imagine if the Imperial authorities had found out who you really were, Jyn Erso. That is your given name, is it not?
It's Gurney Halleck.
Jyn Erso, daughter of Galen.
And even though you're in Jyn Erso's perspective, it adds a completely different layer knowing that they've been looking.
It's a chance for you to make a fresh start. We think you might be able to help us. This is Captain Cassian Andor, Rebel Intelligence.
When was the last time you were in contact with your father?
15 years ago.
Any idea where he's been all that time?
He's raising another child.
I like to think he's dead. Makes things easier.
That he's been a tool of the Imperial war machine?
I've never had the luxury of political opinions.
Woof.
When was your last contact with Saw Gerrera?
We never actually saw Andor interact with Saw, huh?
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
But he'll remember you, though, wouldn't he? He might agree to meet you, if you came as a friend.
It's a trap.
I was a child. Saw Gerrera saved my life. He raised me, but I've no idea where he is. I haven't seen him in years.
Oh, we'll take care of that.
What we need is someone who gets us through the door without being killed.
You're all rebels, aren't you?
Yes, but Saw Gerrera is an extremist. He's been fighting on his own since he broke with the rebellion.
Yeah.
We have no choice now but to try and mend that broken trust. What does this have to do with my father?
She doesn't even know her dad's alive.
There's an Imperial defector in Jeddah, a pilot. He's been held by Saw Gerrera. He's claiming the Emperor is creating a weapon with the power to destroy entire planets. The pilot says he was sent by your father.
He wants to help.
We need to stop this weapon before it is finished.
Captain Andor's mission is to authenticate the pilot's story and then, if possible, find your father.
Father.
With the development of this super weapon, given the gravity of the situation and your history with Saw, we're hoping that he will help us locate your father and return him to the Senate for testimony.
I don't think I'm ever going to love this movie as much as I'm loving it right now.
I know. The way to watch it is after a full Andor experience.
Benjamin Bratt!
Benjamin Bratt!
And if I do it,
we'll make sure you go free.
Cut 2.
Crazy how the show like from the Mon Mothma appearances in live action, than to have her be this like full-fledged character, adding so much context to this one moment that she gets in this movie.
I feel like this, like, I already liked this the first time I remember, but I feel like this is going to feel a lot richer with all that extra context.
I'm K2SO. I'm a reprogrammed Imperial droid.
I remember you.
I see the Council is sending you with us to Jeddah.
Apparently so.
You don't sound happy about that, K2.
That is a bad idea. I think so, and so does Cassian. What
don't
do
say.
I know? My specialty is just strategic analysis.
Jyn Erso is vital to the Empire's weapons program. Forget what you heard in there. There will be no extraction. You find him, you kill him.
Damn, dude.
Kind of crazy that he's willing to play it a little dirty, too.
You met K2?
Charming.
Use this woman to bait her father, who she thought was dead. That's a cruel mission.
Why does she get a blaster and I don't?
What?
I know how to use it.
That's what I'm afraid of. Give it to me.
Uh-oh.
We're going to Jeddah. That's a war zone.
That's not the point of... Where'd you get it?
I found it.
I find that answer vague and unconvincing.
Story of my life.
Trust goes both ways.
He doesn't trust you.
But he will once you don't shoot him with that blaster.
Would you like to know the probability of her using it against you? It's high. Very high.
It's very high. He's got such good timing.
You just don't expect him to like talk like that.
Well, and bolstered by what we've seen in Andor, it really does seem smart to do this. Like, yeah, the Death Star is like such a primal part of the Star Wars, like a cornerstone part of the lore. But of all the things to do a prequel about, like, it is one of the most intense aspects of the story.
Lies! Deceptions! Let's see it. Rook, cargo pilot. Local boy, huh?
Okay, I can hear you.
He speaks the language.
No, we don't have time for this. I have to speak to Saw Gerrera before he do that.
Transformed.
That's for you.
Huh?
I gave it to them. They did not find it. I gave it.
Convincing line delivery, dude.
Caitlin Esso. He told me to find you.
Why did you say that name?
Poor gullet.
Poor gullet.
That's really cool to do the flashback where you get a very different Saw, one you could trust, and then there's this time jump to a completely different version, and now the show has given us that context.
God, that out of the shadow shot is bonkers. That is also bonkers. Great. Holy shit.
Beautiful as hell, man.
Oh. And yeah, that's a good point. And two, you get the Vader sort of like, I don't know. They've made respirators very sinister in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
We've heard word of rumors circulating through the city.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it does look weird. Okay.
Apparently, you've lost a rather talkative cargo pilot. Senate gets wind of our project. Countless systems will flock to the rebellion.
Woof.
When has become now, Director Krennic. The Emperor will tolerate no further delay.
impression.
You have made time an ally of the rebellion.
I don't hate this effect, but I can very much tell it is an effect.
No, it looks like a CGI creature.
Failure will find you explaining why to a far less patient audience.
I will not fail.
It's like I like it better than some of the AI deepfakier techniques, but it definitely looks like he's an animated video game character.
Tarkin Gorman, who was part of the Empire.
Damn, he got some rank on him.
Must have had a change of heart.
What's the matter, Jim? You look frightened.
Damn.
I'll always protect you.
I wonder if Mads Mikkelsen's a dad in real life.
Dad's Mikkelsen. Trust. Lyra looks familiar too.
She's a cool character. I like her backstory a lot.
It's beautiful.
That's Jeddah, or what's left of it. You find Saw, you find your father.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Wow, what a great way to sell the realism of it. Just a little, sort of a smart direction touch. The shadow of that cutting to it. Makes it feel real.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder whose input is what, because that's stuff that feels kind of like Gareth Edwards' decision making to me, because he's really good at like selling this kind of imagery, stuff is clearly orchestrated with effects.
What's with the destroyer?
It's because of your old friend, Saw Gerrera. He's been attacking the cargo shipments.
My man.
What are they taking out?
It's so funny. Like, it does lead perfectly in.
All they can get. Wondered why they were stripping the temple. Now we know. It's the fuel for the weapon.
The weapon your father's building.
Maybe we should leave target practice behind.
Are you talking about me?
She's right. We need to blend in.
You totally blended.
I can blend in. I'm an Imperial droid.
Yeah, you totally blended.
Half the people here want to reprogram you. The other half want to put a hole in your head. I'm just worried they might miss you and hit me.
But they probably want to reprogram or put a hole in your head.
I love how touchy he is.
Poor Gullet can feel your thoughts.
Crazy.
Feel your thoughts.
What have you really brought me? Cargo pilot.
Ew.
Cargo pilot.
Looks like that thingy from The Boys.
Yep.
Poor Gullet will know the truth.
Ugh.
The unfortunate side effect is that one tends to lose one's mind.
You know a little bit about that, don't you?
I remember when I first watched this thinking, I felt like Forrest Whitaker was way over the top.
Yeah.
But after watching this show, it's like fits. Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is exactly him. Yeah.
Like, it is interesting, and we'll see how it continues, but it does, in a whole other way, feel like the show fleshes this out and gives it tempers it with balance. Yeah.
It's crazy. This show betters the movie.
Yeah.
Hey.
No. Hey.
New Hope cameo. That guy looked like he had testicles on his chin.
He's a Balchinian.
Had a contact, one of Saw's rebels, but he's just gone missing. His sister will be looking for him. The temple's been destroyed, but she'll be there waiting. We'll give her your name and hope that gets us a meeting with Saw.
She'll be there wishing and hoping and thinking and praying.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Ah, someone said that to him.
I have friends everywhere.
Is this all because of your pilot?
Wait for me.
Donnie Yen.
Hey!
I remember loving him.
That's the thing I remember best about this movie is just him and his buddy.
I'm one with the Force.
Trade that necklace for a glimpse into your future. Yes. I'm speaking to you.
Cool.
I'm Chirrut Îmwe.
Chirrut Îmwe.
How did you know I was wearing a necklace?
Well, that answer you must pay. What do you know about kyber crystals?
My father, he said they powered the Jedi's lightsabers.
They do. It's crazy how it's like the Kyber crystal is so symbolic that it could be the power for the Death Star and also the power for the lightsabers.
Strongest stars have hearts of kyber.
Let's go. We're not here to make friends.
I mean, just one friend?
Who are they?
The guardians of the wills, protectors of the Kyber temple.
The wills.
The wills.
That's what George Lucas originally wanted to focus on.
Now they're just causing trouble for everybody.
You seem awfully tense all of a sudden.
We have to hurry. This town is ready to blow.
Saw Gerrera's reign of terror. Little guy.
Tell me you have a backup plan.
Ooh, shit. Whoa. God, he wasn't kidding.
Right in the middle of a war zone.
This Cold War just got hot.
Looks like we found Saw's rebels.
This looks like footage of what I see footage of the Middle East. There's always that, that one child.
One crying child.
The one crying child trope.
Save the kid moment.
Kid's probably not even going to thank her. Or she did. I'm not sure.
Whoa.
God damn.
This definitely does feel like a, terrestrial war zone. I guess that was the hook of this movie. Like, ooh, it's more like an actual war movie. Oh, damn. Strapped up.
Saved her. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. Kyber.
That was smart. They almost blew up the tank, but this allowed the people to get the Kyber back.
ATST.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Threw that rifle. Hey.
Oh my God.
Nice.
What?
With the blackjack.
What? Cool. Someone will shoot you.
Did you know that wasn't me?
Well, hello again, Huel, H-U-E-L, today's video sponsor. Lately, I've been loving talking about Huel because I've used it as an excuse to give you guys updates on my fitness journey. Back in January of this year, I was 218 pounds. Last time I weighed myself, I'm down to 179. But this time I decided to take a fancy picture. Close to the mirror. Good lighting. And I did have to flex, but I'm making progress. I'm almost at the six-pack. Look at it. Almost at the six-pack. It's almost 40 pounds down, and one of the biggest game changers for me has easily been by staying consistent with healthy go-to meals such as Huel's Black Edition Ready to Drink. As a matter of fact, I just shot a video with Andrew and Aaron this morning. Both came without having had any breakfast, and of course they were hungry. First thing they did, they got themselves a Huel in the office fridge, baby, because I bought plenty. It's a complete meal in a bottle, man. It is tasty. It's packed with over 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins and minerals, slow-release carbohydrates, and low sugar, plus fiber. No prep, no cleanup. Just grab it, go, shoot a reaction, or whatever else you do. Yeah, whether I'm filming, working out, or frankly too tired to cook, which is pretty much every day, this bottle's been a lifesaver. It actually tastes good too. My favorites are like the main ones, the chocolate and the vanilla, but I also really do like their strawberry banana. I also got iced coffee. And when in doubt, you can always go with the variety pack if you don't know which one you want. And at under $5 a meal, it's helped my routine and my budget. And now to be able to provide for the host here. Huel's already sold over 500 million worldwide. And if you're looking to eat better, stay on track, or just stop skipping meals, you've got to try this. So if you'd like to support the channel and support your body, new customers get 15% off plus a free gift at Huel.com/rejects with code REJECTS. Once again, Huel.com/rejects, code REJECTS, 15% off and a free gift. Minimum $75 purchase. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition bottled.
I thought I told you to stay on the ship.
But I thought it was boring, and you were in trouble. There are a lot of explosions for two people blending in.
Freeze, right.
Cool. It's interesting after experiencing the Gorman Massacre and almost every battle in Andor how grim the battles all felt.
Yeah.
And this has that level of intensity, but with fun.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
I wouldn't call any of them ones in Andor fun.
Where are you taking these prisoners?
I am taking them to imprison them in prison.
He is taking us to...
Quiet!
Ouch!
And there's a fresh one if you mouth off again.
Yeah.
Force is with me, and I am with the Force. And I fear nothing, for all this as the Force wills it.
Guardian of the Whales.
He's blind, deaf. I said stop right there.
Sure,
Awesome.
Daredevil blind guy vision.
Ooh. Must be a powerful stick to penetrate that armor.
Is your foot all right?
Shot
Awesome.
in the hips.
I think he must have choreographed this. It looks like his kind of choreography.
I was wondering. I feel like you get Donnie Yen, you're like, could you please choreograph this? Wow. God. Oh my God. What a G. Hey.
Showed the necessity of the 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
You almost shot me.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Clear of hostiles. One hostile.
He's with us.
Be all right.
I'll say it. Normally the guy with the gun would not be Asian. And I'm so glad that he's Asian.
Yeah.
That both of them get to be played by Asian actors.
Can you get us to Saw Gerrera?
Whoa.
We are no friends of the Empire.
We had those guys.
Anyone who kills me and my friends will answer to Saw Gerrera.
I'm his sort of daughter.
Because I'm the daughter of Jyn Erso.
Macho! Chotto! Are you kidding me?
Ah.
I'm blind!
Not taking any chances.
Oh, I love this detail.
Oh.
While they're in prison, they get to be right on the outside of it are people getting to really enjoy their freedom. And in such like a fun way too.
Whoa. Sisu over here.
I sense that you carry yours wherever you go.
Look at those haunted eyes.
Nuh-uh.
And how in the last couple chapters they finally introduced the Force to Andor.
Yeah, the Force healer and all that stuff.
And introducing like his contemplation about like, does he have a purpose as a messenger? Is that willed in the Force? Which makes this development even stronger now when he's having these conversations.
Must be quite a surprise.
Are we not still friends?
The last time I saw you, you gave me a knife and loaded blaster and told me to wait in a bunker till daylight.
I knew you were safe.
I just forgot you were there.
I was protecting you.
You dumped me!
You were the daughter of an Imperial science officer. People were starting to figure that out. People who wanted to use you as a hostage.
Was protecting her, yeah.
Not a day goes by that I don't think of you.
Really?
Seems like there's a lot on your mind.
Today, of all days, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
What?
The pilot, the message, all of it.
His paranoia is so through the roof.
Did they send you?
It amplifies his paranoia, but it makes him feel like his answers to the paranoia are clear.
Yeah.
The Alliance wants my father. They think he sent you a message about a weapon. I guess they think by sending me, you might actually help them out.
It's the craziest 48 hours for him in a while.
So what is it that you want?
They wanted an introduction, they've got it. I'm out now. The rest of you can do what you want.
But what do you want?
You care not about the cause.
The Alliance, the rebels, whatever it is you're calling yourself these days. All it's ever brought me is pain.
Oh.
You can stand to see the Imperial flag reign across the galaxy.
It's not a problem if you don't look up.
You become jaded.
Woof.
Not a problem if you don't look up. Never look up, never have hope.
The Emperor is awaiting my report.
One had hoped that he and Lord Vader might have been here for such an occasion.
Lord Vader.
And I thought it prudent to save you from any potential embarrassment.
Your concerns hardly warranted.
If saying it would only make it so.
It's goddamn eyes. Should have given him sunglasses.
Weekend at Tarkin's.
Target Jeddah City. Prepare single reactor ignition.
Oh, he's so mad. He's big mad.
Who's the one in the next cell?
What?
Hey.
An Imperial pilot. I'm gonna kill him! No, wait! Come here! No!
The music really adds a different type of like tone, right? A little bit more of that Star Wars whimsy.
That classic Star Wars timbre.
Jyn Erso. You know that name?
Brought the message, I'm the pilot.
And then for him to be the messenger or to be talking with this other messenger.
I'm the pilot.
They're like mirrors of each other.
Destiny.
Now where is Jyn Erso?
I mean, it's kind of a through line with all the characters, right? They're all messengers.
Messengers, yeah.
Even Chirrut and Baze are like messengers of the Force.
If you are watching this, then perhaps there's a chance to save the Alliance. A chance for Jyn, if she's alive.
That must suck so much, my God.
Jyn, my Stardust. I can't imagine what you think of me. If I took my own life, it will only be a matter of time before Krennic realized he no longer needed me to complete the project.
Oh, shit.
So I did the one thing nobody expected. I lied.
Hey.
I learned to lie.
I learned to lie. As you know, I was a bad liar
was a
15 years ago.
Liar.
I made myself indispensable. I laid the groundwork for my revenge. We call it the Death Star. I've placed a weakness, a flaw so small and powerful they will never find it.
Damn. Oh.
I try to think of you only in the moments when I'm strong because the pain of not having you with me.
Look at her getting motivated.
It's just so hard not to think of you.
Oh.
Think of where you are.
Having this conversation about not caring to join, and then suddenly...
The reactor module, that's the key. That's the place I've laid my trap. One blast to any part of it will destroy the entire station.
Oh, while all this is happening.
I know there's a complete engineering archive in the data vault. Any pressurized explosion into the reactor module will set off a chain reaction that will destroy the entire station.
God damn, take the message. Take the message.
Just enough of it.
Wow, looks like an atomic bomb.
Hey.
Bring that ship in here, now! Get the pilot. We need him.
All right. I'll get the pilot.
Don't get the pilot.
You look way too eager about that.
Hey.
Anyone should get a fucking spin-off show. These guys, goddamn.
Oh, you could do so many cool, like, nomad adventures with cool action.
That would be your adventure show.
Yeah.
The Guardian of the Wills.
Follow
all that.
I know where your father is.
You must go.
Come with us.
I will run no longer.
My robo-wigs won't let me.
But you're not taking a stand for anything by staying here.
Save the rebellion. Save the dream.
And he got the message to her.
Yeah.
The hot potato game of the power of a messenger. Damn, it looks very real.
Chirrut, let's go.
Wow, the way it rises up, it is like it's coming like an entity that's attacking.
It's like a creature rising up from beneath the ground. Thank God for that side sliding door.
I'm not very optimistic about our odds. Not now, okay.
Just do it anyway.
Not now.
It's either die or try.
Jesus. Oh.
And he quit being a drug addict.
Yep. I picked a hell of a day to stop sniffing glue.
Holy shit.
Wow. He'll just be a head on some spider
Oh my
legs next time we
God.
see him.
Budget, I haven't completed my calculations. I'll make them for you.
Woo! God damn.
I mean, it is crazy because, like, when you are on the ground level, it is horrifying, and you can't dismiss, though. Like, when they see it, there is something, like, eerily beautiful about it, aesthetic-wise, but damn, it's horrible.
I believe I owe you an apology, Director Krennic.
You would apologize?
Your work exceeds all expectations.
Is he mocking him?
You tell the Emperor as much.
I will tell him that his patience with your misadventures has been rewarded with a weapon that will bring a swift end to the rebellion.
And that was only an inkling of its destructive potential.
I will tell him that I will be taking control over the weapon I first spoke of years ago, effective immediately.
Oh, what a jerk move.
We stand here amidst my achievement.
I'm afraid the recent security breaches have laid bare your inadequacies as a military director.
The breaches have been filled. Cheddar has been silent.
This pilot acted alone. He was dispatched from the installation on Edo, Jyn Erso's facility.
I love that Tarkin waited.
Yeah.
So he
Make
can manipulate
sure,
it.
yeah.
He waited, make sure, and then when he takes control, he's like, he could anticipate what Krennic would do and say, how he'd react.
Mission target located on Edo. Please advise. Destroyed.
Damn.
Proceed. Tell him my orders still stand, and keep to the plan. We have no idea what he's building for the Empire.
What is he building in there?
We have to kill Jyn Erso while we have the chance.
Oh, boy.
Even for him, it adds, Draven?
Yeah.
Even adds depth for him now.
Yeah.
I couldn't, forgot he was in this movie.
I know.
I literally had no recollection. And I imagine without the show, I'd feel like this is kind of just, I don't really care about who they are.
Yeah. It's an incredible feat of reverse engineering. Like, it feels like this was always supposed to lead into this movie.
You're Galen's daughter.
You know him.
Your father. He said I could get right by myself if I was brave enough to listen to what was in my heart. Guess it was too late.
It wasn't too late.
It's not too late.
It's never too late.
We can beat the people who did this.
Oh, now she's all motivated.
They call it the Death Star. They have no idea. There's a way to defeat it. He sacrificed himself for the rebellion. He's rigged a trap inside it. That's why he sent you, to bring that message.
Cool.
Where's the message?
It was a hologram.
You have that message, right?
Do the Clea thing. Repeat the key words.
Everything happened so fast.
Did you see it?
You don't believe me?
No, he does not.
I'm not the one you gotta convince.
Yeah. I've been through this shit before.
What kind of trap?
The reactor. If you can blow the reactor, the module, the whole system goes down. They have to go to Scarif to get the plans.
I can't risk sending that. We're in the heart of Imperial territory.
Yeah, man.
Then we'll find him and bring him back, and he can tell them himself.
And it's so on the movies end, it's so smart to show like how Andor would kill.
Yeah.
Like with no questions asked in the spur of a moment.
Yeah.
So it is a debate of, oh shit, would he not kill Galen?
Yeah.
It seems like he would, if it's his mission, he'd do it, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Especially with someone if he's willing to kill someone like so innocuous, who's less important. I mean, he would gladly kill an important one.
Imperial Kyber refinery. I mean, yeah, it kind of adds that tension of like, depending on the circumstances, he would kill either of them. You know, like she could be leading them to Galen only to result in her own death or his.
They have landing trackers here. They have patrol squadrons. You've got to stay in the canyon. Keep it low.
Listen to the pilot.
If you keep going, you'll be right over the shuttle depot. Watch out!
Oh shit! Oh no!
Yeah, that's a really, really shitty situation. Oh damn! I didn't know they did the locked off shot.
Dude, proto locked off.
How'd they survive that? That's a brutal crash.
Signal's gone dead. Squadron up. Target Edu.
Rogue Squadron.
Where's the lab? It's just over that ridge.
That's a shuttle depot straight ahead of us. We'll have to hope there's still an Imperial ship left to steal.
Hope.
Bodhi, you're coming with me. We'll go up the ridge and check it out.
I'm coming with you.
No, your father's message. We can't risk it.
Yeah.
Great lie.
Does he look like a killer?
He has the face of a friend.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, he's a killer. He's a killer.
The Force moves darkly near a creature that's about to kill.
His weapon was in the sniper configuration.
Oh golly!
Saying all the right things, K2.
Where are you going? I'm gonna follow Jyn. The path is clear. Good luck.
I'm
I
never
don't need
alone.
luck. I have you.
That's him. That's him. Galen. In the dark suit.
I'm gonna look through these other binoculars really quick.
I'll look through my gun-noculars.
Get back down there and find us a ride out of here.
Well, what are you doing?
You heard me.
You said we came up here just to have a look.
I'm here. I'm looking. Go.
God, he really is a little Luthen.
Excellent news, Galen. The battle station is complete.
Must be very proud.
Proud as I can be.
Oh, he's about to humiliate him.
Gather your engineers. I have an announcement.
I'll say though, this is like the transition of Andor feeling like Star Wars, whereas like Andor doesn't feel like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not in a disrespectful way at all. This like certainly feels like a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
You know?
One of you has conspired with a pilot to send messages to the rebellion. And I urge that traitor step forward.
No. Gotta get that hair out of your eye.
I mean, you can't kill him in this setting, Andor. Like they would hunt you guys down.
Very well, I'll consider it a
Really
group
fast.
effort then. Ready? Aim! And fire! Krennic, stop! It was me! It was me!
Oof.
They have nothing to do with it. Spare them.
They love the Empire.
Mads Mikkelsen is so cool. I like how he's like playing a guy too, a man of intelligence, nothing to do with strength or seduction. What I kind of the two things I usually associate him: strength and seduction.
Well, and even his like trademark reserve feels different here. Woof.
Oh,
That's cruel.
oh, what a punishment!
Backhanded him too.
Oh shit! He must be all right. Let's get through this way.
Let me share with you some details.
They're on their way to the Emperor right now to tell him about my achievement.
That dude just went like grabbed the gun. Oh my god!
Cassian, can you hear me?
I'm here. You got it working.
Affirmative, yes. Although we have a problem. There's an Alliance squadron approaching. Clear the area.
No! Tell them to hold up. Jyn's on that platform.
Oh, he cares.
Jeddah.
She can be my new Bix.
Their holy city. The last reminder of the Jedi. Gone. You'll never win.
Oh boy.
General.
Captain Andor requesting a delay on squadron support. Alliance forces on site. Please confirm.
Get the squadron leader on. Get him on now.
They're already engaged, sir.
Well, unengage them, man.
Yeah, they can, simply not fly there. Oh, damn.
Ah, shit. Ah, shit. Ah, shit.
This is a great looking film. God damn. Like, it's really cool looking shit.
Jyn. No.
No.
This might be the best looking of the Disney Star Wars movies.
I feel like it is. Because, like, it has that sort of striking tangibility of an Andor, but it has all the scale and sweep.
Yeah.
And it's not too CG. No! No! And I mean, that is an earmark of Gareth Edwards for sure. He seems to like to really put stuff in camera.
Oh, awesome. I think he knows how to use rain so well from this Godzilla.
Rain and dirt. Oof. Wow. Ooh. Oh, he big mad. Big mad now.
I wonder if people in the blind community are ever annoyed by how like they're portrayed in movies, but they'll never see it though.
No, no, no.
You know what I mean? Like some people get like.
It is an interesting thing to ponder because it is such a trope. Yeah, the like telepathically gifted, you know, in all other senses, blind character. I just go around expecting all blind people I meet to know martial arts.
Papa, it's me. It's Jyn.
No.
I've seen your message. The hologram. I've seen it.
It must be destroyed.
I know. We will.
2 words. Han Solo, I know. Will. Wills.
I have so much to tell you.
Oh, what a heartbreaking line. I'll never be able to.
Papa.
Papa, come on.
Oh.
I like the choice to call him Papa. Go back to her childhood.
He's gone. Come on.
I can't leave him.
Come on.
Throw him on your back.
And if anyone asks, I did it.
I completed my mission.
Well done. You're a rebel now.
You're the man now, dog.
Let's go, let's go. Come on, let's move. Come on, let's get out of here.
The one tiny hindrance of watching it is that because we watch a show that really takes its time to like relish and tension and such, there are certain moments where I'm like, oh, I kind of wish this was like, you know,
I wish this
slowing down a bit into breathing,
play out
breathing,
a little
yeah.
Really sink into the nitty gritty.
Yeah, like even like we're getting Jyn to get out of the situation with her dad over his dead body. I'm like, oh, I feel like on the show that definitely would have been longer.
Yeah,
or captured differently.
You lied to me.
You're in shock.
You went up there to kill me.
Wow, what a cold line to say.
You lied about why we came here, and you lied about why you went up alone.
I had every chance to pull the trigger, but did I?
Did I?
You might as well have. My father was living proof, and you put him at risk. Those were Alliance bombs that killed him.
I had orders.
That is true.
I disobeyed, but you wouldn't understand that.
Orders? When you know they're wrong, you might as well be a stormtrooper.
How's that any different from the Empire? Yeah, there you go.
Might
Yeah.
as well be a storm.
We don't all have the luxury of deciding when and where we want to care about something.
Suddenly the rebellion is real for you. Some of us live it. I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old.
Yeah, and I've been in your shoes too.
You're not the only one who lost everything.
6 years old is kind of harder than Eric's. We know things. Where's his sister?
You can't talk your way around this.
I don't have to.
Yavin 4. Make sure they know we're coming in with a stolen ship.
I mean, it's a cascading effect, but you know, like they did ultimately lead the Alliance there. I see the shades of both of the arguments.
One, it's like if the Alliance hadn't shown up and everything had still transpired the way it would have up to them, would she be saying this to him? Oh.
Mufasa Land. That's the name of his planet.
Yeah.
Totally blanking on this city. We see this in Obi-Wan.
God. Damn.
Mustafar?
Sauron's tower. Zordon?
My lord, Director Krennic has arrived.
Thank you, Gary.
Pretty sweet. Before Hayden Christensen even returned. Side note, very happy for Hayden Christensen and the love he gets now. Very.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think about it. I'm like, that's really cool.
If only we could get some of that for Jake Lloyd. Wowie. The shadow work in this movie.
Phenomenal.
The Imperial March.
Director Krennic. Lord Vader.
How terrified he is.
You seem unsettled.
No, just pressed for time. There's a great many things to attend to.
My apologies.
Pressed for time.
You do have a great many things to explain.
I delivered the weapon the Emperor requested.
Its power to create problems has certainly been confirmed. A city destroyed. An Imperial facility openly attacked.
It's Governor Tarkin suggested the test.
Hey.
Blame.
The Senate has been informed that Jeddah was destroyed in a mining disaster. I expect you not to rest until you can assure the Emperor that Jyn Erso has not compromised this weapon in any way.
I know the finger point.
So I'm still in command?
I got my big shiny title.
You'll speak to the Emperor about
The joking.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
Vader got jokes.
We must scatter the fleet. We have
Like I had to go to Vader for that.
Oh, damn, even she's back.
Because Vader is a messenger.
A decision needed to be made.
If it's war you want, you'll fight alone.
If that's how it's going, why have an alliance at all?
Pamelo.
Death Star, this is nonsense.
What reason would my father have to lie?
To lure our forces into a final battle to destroy us.
Guys, this rebellion is annoying.
If the Empire has this kind of power, what chance do we have?
What chance do we have?
Hope?
You give way to an enemy this evil with this much power, and you condemn the galaxy to an eternity of submission. The time to fight is now.
Yes.
Every moment you waste is another step closer to the ashes of Jeddah.
It's sad that she had to come in to remind the rebellion to be a rebellion.
Where's your spirit, man?
You need to capture the Death Star plans if there's any hope of destroying it.
Death Star plans.
You're asking us to invade an Imperial installation based on nothing but hope.
That's all. That's the rebellion, baby.
Powerful.
Rebellions are built on hope.
Snap diggity.
There is no
I like how they cut to Mothma and Jimmy Smits look at each other. Bail.
Without the full support of the council, the odds are too great.
She believes her.
Never tell me the odds.
Even with Bail and Mon Mothma now, that it's much more enhanced. I didn't really pay much mind to it when Jimmy Smits first showed up because I got used to Benjamin Bratt. But I really saw it in this scene. General Syndulla. Oh, that's cool.
They prefer to surrender.
You? She wants to fight.
So do I.
That's a fun Easter egg.
Force is strong.
I'm not sure 4 of us is quite enough.
How many do we need?
What are you talking about?
At least 5.
We're never gonna believe you.
I appreciate the support.
I do. I believe you. I'd like to volunteer.
I know someone who died for information related to yours.
And that's what your whole show's based off.
Everything I did for the rebellion. And every time I walked away from something I wanted to forget, I told myself it was for a cause that I believed in. A cause that was worth it. Without that, we're lost. Everything we've done would have been for nothing.
Even adding on to the character arc from Adnor.
I couldn't face myself if I gave up now. None of us could.
It won't be comfortable, even cramped, but we don't fit.
The rebels.
Hey, you're up. Grab anything that's not Nathan.
I do wish they made, like, Jyn actually look dirty.
I'll be there for you.
Hell yeah, you
It
will.
Starts to pour.
Cassian said I had to.
Yep.
I'm not used to people sticking around when things go bad.
Welcome home.
Hey. The humor with K2 especially is nicely timed, because even when it's in like a heartfelt moment, it doesn't ruin the heartfelt moment.
No, because it's 100% within character.
Yeah. Fun scoring.
May the force be with us.
With all of us.
I do feel like there's like a scene or a beat missing of how she I know the context of how she completely catapulted, screw it, I'm going all in, but there's something about the switch that kind of feels like a beat is missing.
That's an impounded Imperial ship.
Oh.
What's your call sign, pilot?
It's
Say something.
Some chair controller.
Rogue?
There it is.
Rogue One.
There is no Rogue One.
Well, there is now.
There's now.
Dope.
Pulling away. Pulling away.
Yeah, I think it's like a beat to me, it's in her demeanor. It's like a beat to really transfer her from the brooding and the trauma into like the hope and the fire.
Despite what the others
Especially
say,
after what just happened.
war is inevitable.
Yes, I agree. I must return to Alderaan to inform my people that there will be no peace.
Oh boy.
We will need every advantage.
Your friend,
Benjamin Bratt.
the Jedi.
He served me well during the Clone Wars. He has lived in hiding since the Emperor's purge. Yes, I will send for him.
Oh.
You will need someone you can trust.
I would trust her with my life.
Let's go.
Captain Tiz. That's Ahsoka. At this point in the timeline, yeah, Ahsoka would be, oh my god.
Okay.
I forgot the other code name she went by when we meet her in Rebels.
There's a planet-wide defensive shield with a single main entry gate. This shuttle should be equipped with an access code that allows us through.
Assuming the Empire hasn't logged it as overdue.
And if they have?
And they shut the gate, and we're all annihilated in the cold, dark vacuum of space.
Fun.
Not me.
Not me.
I can survive in space.
There's one episode of him floating. They said there was going to be a solo K2 episode that was like a horror movie that they wanted to do, but they didn't have enough budget.
They could do like an anthology.
Cargo shuttle.
Yeah, just do Star Wars leftovers.
08 requesting a landing pad.
Like do every story that you just didn't have the budget or space to do.
08, you're not listed on the arrival schedule.
Acknowledged gate control. We were rerouted from Edu flight station. Transmitting clearance code now.
Transmitting.
The crystal.
You are cleared for entry.
That might be what's missing for me from it is I don't feel like the darkness of losing one's father is really present. There's got to be like a shade of that. I don't need to be like fucking brooding or some shit, but
well, and for as dark as the movie has been so far, it feels more like hopeful, adventurous.
Yeah.
Now that he's dead.
SW0608, cleared for landing pad 9.
Oh, 0608, the original.
0608 is the date of when I asked my wife to be my girlfriend.
Hey.
The dish at the top. What's it for?
I guess it takes a lot of signal to send those data files out.
Oh yeah, it probably takes a long time to upload.
We're landing.
We're coming in.
Speech.
Saw Gerrera used to say one fighter with a sharp stick, nothing left to lose, can take the day. They've no idea we're coming. They've no reason to expect us.
Nope.
Be that sharp stick.
If we can make it to the ground, we'll take the next chance. And the next. On and on until we win. Or the chances are spent.
That's all we got.
The Death Star plans are down there. Cassian, K2 and I will find them.
I do like how they
We'll find a way to find them.
kind of carrying on a theme from the Andor show, actually. How Melshi, by the way.
Base Chirrut. You'll take the main squad. Move east and get wide of the ship. Find a position between here and the tower. Once you get to the best spot, light the place up.
Hell yeah.
Make 10 men feel like 100.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
Away from us.
the fact that, like, there had to be a rebellion within the rebellion to get this done.
Yeah.
And how a lot of our characters in Andor were kind of like that, too. Like, the ones who were less likely to take orders.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool for Melshi that he got to actually become a real character.
Sure. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Cargo shuttle SW0608. Be prepared to receive inspection team.
Ready?
Great posture on that dude in the middle.
That was a cool shot. For when the door started coming down, the camera actually started falling just a little bit.
Probably looking for a manifest.
That would be helpful.
Just down here.
Come closer. Could you examine this trap for me?
General Ramda has been informed of your arrival.
Oh, everybody in the same place. It looks like Jean Reno, but it's not.
Good luck, little sister.
Oh, little sister, can't you find another way?
Go! Go now, you're clear!
So swift. Oh.
I've got a bad feeling about it.
Cool framing.
That's a fun way to do an Easter egg. And that does. And if anyone's gonna have that line,
yeah,
it would be K2SO, and to actually cut him off too is great. That was really well done. Great Easter egg.
I love the like tropical feeling of this island or this setting, all the palms and stuff.
We need a map.
Well, I'm sure there's one just lying about.
You know what you have to do.
Okay.
Got wandering eyes, Kay.
I love the POV through the binoculars.
Hey, did you hear the rumors? Yeah, the T-15s have been marked obsolete. Oh boy, it's about time for that.
Comment below if you got context for that. Good riddance, T-15s. So freaking cool.
Yeah, I love that weapon. It was like strapped to him like a flamethrower.
Well, yeah, and I'm like, what is it? Just like a massive laser generator?
What's up?
Oh, nice. Don't tase me, bro.
What brings you to Scarif? Galen Erso. I want every dispatch, every transmission he has ever sent called up for inspection.
Download his Twitter archive. Wowie.
Oh, something kind of eerie about that.
Yeah.
Plays in the subconscious when you know that like a droid is capable of having a soul.
Yeah, it's like you're reaching in and scrambling, lobotomizing one of your own.
Our optimal route to the data vault places only 89 stormtroopers in our path. We will make it no more than 33% of the way before we are killed.
Ready. Standing by.
Light it up.
Light it up. I'm on fire.
Let the games begin.
Ooh.
Oh, that is so cool. What a reversal of perspective, too.
Deploy the garrison! No!
Are we flying?
How, like on Jeddah, when he was looking upon destruction on the planet, it was beautiful. Now that it's the engagement that's flipped, now that they're attacked.
It's a horror.
Troopers on the left. Get in!
All it takes is one to look over. Damn, dude.
Yeah. Woo.
Sir, Scarif base. They're reporting a rebel incursion.
I want to speak with Director Krennic.
He's there, sir. On Scarif.
The original plans for this station are kept there, are they not?
They are.
Prepare for the jump to hyperspace and inform Lord Vader.
Jeez.
You are a smart cookie, that's for sure.
There's one Grand Moff.
Can we help you? That won't be necessary.
Bonk.
Intercepted Imperial transmission, Mom. Rebels on Scarif.
I need to speak with Admiral Radis.
He's returned to his ship. He's going to fight.
Admiral Radist. Oh.
Pilot, you'll be briefed by your squadron leaders en route. May the Force be with you.
And also with you.
They're going to Scarif.
Nobody
ever tell me anything, Artu.
Nobody tells me nothing.
It is a unique setting to have this be your final battle.
We will fight on the beaches.
It does have a bit of like different location than like the Germany or the shores there or something. World War II specifically, not Germany.
This is not working, Kay.
Right hand.
north.
Oh no.
Hey! What? Run!
I love that he's the one to get his attention.
This is Gareth Edwards' Jurassic Park audition here.
Yeah, right. Jurassic Park got a lot of people running through. Wow, that POV. Cool.
This is Admiral Reddish of the Rebel Alliance. All squadron leaders report in.
Admiral, this is Blue Leader standing by.
You gotta really have your coordinates on point.
Lock down the base.
And close the shield. Do it! Red and gold squadrons, attack formations. Blue squadron, get to the surface before they close that gate.
Copy you, Admiral.
This is a pretty rousing finale. Like, demonstrating the unity of the rebellion. Like, even though they disobeyed orders, like, fuck it, let's go in.
Yeah.
This is a cool ass shot. Holy
They
shit,
were right.
dude. Yeah.
They created the opportunity. Wow. Wow.
Close it!
Sometimes locked off shots can feel gimmicky, but this movie's choices here are so well done.
Yeah.
Effective.
That guy.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Rebel fleet has arrived.
What?
So awesome.
There's fighting on the beach. They've locked down the base. They've closed the shield gate.
What does that mean?
We're trapped.
We could transmit the plans to the rebel fleet. We'd have to get a signal up to tell them it's coming. It's the size of the data files. That's the problem. They'll never get through.
You need a bigger terabyte storage.
Someone has to take that shield gate down.
The rebel fleet is up there. You gotta tell them to blow a hole in the shield gate so we can transmit the plans.
Wait, but I can't. I'm not hooked into the.
I love it. The ultimate messenger movie.
It's the only way we're getting them out of here.
Find a way.
The awareness that Andor has brought to me about the power of the messenger.
Yeah.
Your behavior, Jyn Erso, is continually unexpected.
Oh. Oof.
Sounded almost Wilhelm, but not quite.
Almost, yeah.
Fire on my command!
Oh. Oh.
Oh. I love it. You give it a personality.
Yeah.
There's like eyes.
Like a giant, yeah. Like a giant creature. Like when they used to ride, having fun. Like when they used to ride in a battle on like elephant back.
We just have to get a signal strong enough to get through to them and let them know that we're trapped down here. For that, we have to connect to the communications tower. Now, I can patch us in over here, the landing pad. Get on the radio. Get one of the guys out there to find a master switch. Get them to activate the connection between us and that comms tower. Dingo!
Dingo.
What's this actor's name?
It's Riz Ahmed.
Riz Ahmed, yeah. He's really, really good.
Stay with me!
Wow. Wow.
Hot diggity.
Cool. Cool.
This is awesome as hell, man. Damn.
Spectacular.
Yeah. Get some!
Get some! Get her done! Woof! That's so cool.
And it's such a different type of environment where it's so bright, too. It is unusual.
I can locate the tape, but you'll need to use the handles for extraction.
Oh boy.
What am I supposed to do with this?
It's like when in the middle of a boss battle and then you gotta work some kind of puzzle.
Yeah. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. Stop the action so I can do some annoying precision task.
The rebels, they went over there.
Okay, what's going on out there?
Oh my god.
There's one.
There's one.
Well.
Yeah, you can just kill them, right? Yeah.
Always wanted to beat one body with another body. Oof!
Oh,
that's a nasty looking hole, yeah.
Red Leader, this is Gold Leader. We're starting our attack run on the shield gate.
See, like that
Keep it
shot
tight
looks
and watch out for those towers.
like an old school shot. I know in one or some of these movies they have done that. Whoa!
So much deploring right now.
Enemy fighters coming in!
Oh, what a scary ass shot.
This is really making me want to go watch this in the theaters again.
There's a master switch at the base of the con tower. What are we looking for? What does it look like? The master switch. Where is it?
U-wings reinforce those troops.
It's labeled Master.
For Jeddah! for Frodo.
I'm trying to lose them.
You.
Red 5. I need help.
No, Red 5.
Hyperspace tracking, navigational systems.
You guys are doing the most boring part of the mission.
Yep.
Project code names: Stellar Sphere, Mark Omega, Pax Aurora.
Stardust.
Oh, yeah, that's got to be it, right?
Stardust. That's it.
How do you know that?
I know because it's me.
Yes. I wonder if those other code names were Easter eggs.
Identify yourself.
I like how he smiled and he knew what that meant.
I can.
Ooh!
Whoa.
Coming fire. Get cover.
It's like the power in overloading with the quantity that they can deplore.
Stardust.
That's the true power. And like it complements the idea of like, yeah, the stormtroopers
That's
are
it.
notoriously bad shots, but also they just have so many to throw at everything. Like, of course, they're not gonna all be elite, and it doesn't matter. No.
Okay. Climb.
Aww.
You can still send the plans to the fleet. If they open the shield gate, you can broadcast from the tower.
No.
Okay. Goodbye.
That's a real bummer. Damn.
I knew he'd die, but I didn't expect to get so emotional.
Yeah.
Send my guard squadron into battle. 2 men with me now. Get that beach under control.
I can't get to the shuttle. I can't plug in.
They have to hit that gate. If the shield's open, we can send the plans.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I love this performance a lot. Like, you don't know a lot about his backstory, but damn, he's really compelling to watch.
So much life, yeah.
This is, I keep saying, I don't remember, like, how cool this looks.
That was almost like a pod racing angle. Yeah, well, and like...
That's too bad. This guy's been having the best adventure.
One, two, the way the soldiers look definitely feels like a Vietnam War movie. It's like the helmets and the gear. Like the rebel stuff looks way less space age.
This is incredibly staged. There's so many moving pieces. You could tell it's staged too. It's not like fucking, make it up in CGI or what technology or something.
I mean, they must have just really, like found a great beach to shoot on and just... Ooh.
Great hops.
Climb.
Look up.
Yeah. Only look up.
Milshi, come in, please. I'm tied in at my end. I just need an open line.
Hang on. The master switch. It's out there at that console.
Hey, we got it. We got it. Oh, God. Christ! Oh. Careful, them hard drives is fragile. Dude. Coming right to the heart of it.
Oh, Craig has gun himself.
I'm one with the Force is with me.
Damn right.
I'm one with the Force is with me.
It's the mantra of the movie.
Is that a distorted Wilhelm scream?
Like pitched way down.
I'm one with the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force. Come back! I'm of the Force.
Oh,
literally walk the path of faith.
Keep going! Keep going!
Ah, damn!
Ooh. Ouch! Ouch!
Pass. Damn.
Chirrut! Come with me!
No. No.
Chirrut!
1, 2, yeah, the placement of the action. It's like it's all about getting this piece of information.
It's okay. You will always find me.
Damn.
Force is with me. I'm one with the Force.
Character arc.
The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force.
Oh.
We're sustaining heavy damage. There's no turning back now. We have to press the attack.
It's like it keeps the action tense without making it laborious. Oh.
What's happening? We've lost engine power, sir. That Star Destroyer's disabled.
This is Rogue One calling any Alliance ships that can hear me.
Rogue One. What's Rogue One?
This is Admiral Raddus, Rogue One. We hear you.
They found the Death Star plans. They have to transmit them from the communications tower. You have to take down the shield gate. It's the only way they're gonna get them through.
Call up a Hammerhead Corvette. I have an idea.
Hammerhead Corvette.
This is for you, Galen.
Oh. I love the hint at their relationship, too.
Oh.
God damn it.
Man.
God damn it, man.
This is like bold as shit for what they did with this movie, man. Because a lot of people thought that you were going to get like a new cast of characters were going to fall for sequels.
And we're at that point where you slowly begin to realize, like, oh, I don't know if anyone's going to make it out of here. Everyone's dying just to create the opening. Oh. Damn,
Why'd
dude. You could have got out of there.
Maybe he felt like he could be with him now.
Yeah, they can be one in the Force.
Jesus.
Wowie. Oh my god.
Combat 5.
It's another video game thing.
Prepare for impact.
Whoa.
Prepare for impact. Doing a little bit of a holdo.
Full power.
Smart. Oh my god.
Whoa, that's awesome. That is so cool. Reset antenna alignment.
Oh no. Oh no.
You're a pain in the ass, Krennic.
Yeah. You are a tenacious D. God, little
Cool. It looks like
details.
models that they actually crashed.
Yeah, I mean, there were like little plates and panels buckling and
Oh
waving.
my god, it's like literally cutting it off.
Yeah.
So used to spectacle that it's cool to be dazzled by spectacle again.
Christ the Lord. No, ho, 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 no.
This is great. Like the real struggle to get this one fucking message.
Yeah, the desperate struggle.
Send a text, email.
Yeah, can we get this in a zip file? Can we compress this?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Man.
I'm Jyn Erso, daughter of Galen and Lyra. You've lost. My father's revenge. He built a flaw in the Death Star. He put a fuse in the middle of your machine, and I've just told the entire galaxy how to light it.
Yes.
Your signal will never reach the rebel base. All your ships in here will be destroyed. You, on the other hand, die with the rebellion.
See, it's more believable. Ooh, nice.
Dang.
Oh, damn.
My
oh,
man,
yeah.
my
Yeah,
man. Cool.
It's so much more believable when she's all like dirtied up. Crazy.
Wow.
We got Wi-Fi, people.
Admiral, receiving transmission from Scarif.
Damn, dude.
Leave it. Leave it.
Let him get a kick or two in.
Transmission received.
Admiral, we have the plans. She did it.
It's crazy for these like
Anybody's listening?
for these crazy big characters that in the show, and then Andor's like only meets Saw for a second, only sees Krennic for a second.
We're detecting a massive object emerging from hyperspace.
So fucking sinister.
Sir, shall I begin targeting their fleet?
Lord Vader will handle the fleet. Target the base at Scarif. Single reactor ignition.
That is what they did to Jeddah.
Single reactor ignite. Just enough to wipe out this major area.
The irony.
Right to the top of the dish. And now the rebellion gets a front row seat to this.
Rogue One, may the Force be with you.
All ships, prepare for jump to hyperspace.
Oof. Yeah. The crash. Oh, boy. God, how far we've come.
Father would have been proud of you, Jyn.
And your mother of you, Andor.
You literally helped complete his work.
The rebel flagship is disabled, my lord, but has received transmissions from the surface.
Prepare a boarding party.
Oh. Oh, Christ.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
forgot
no,
about this.
no.
Oh, yeah. Yup. Cool. Oh.
Yeah, sinister.
Oh, shit.
You better get that little disc out.
Ooh.
Pass the disc.
Oh, now nice.
Ooh. Pass the disc along, man.
Oh.
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Woof.
The final stretch.
Carry the message.
What a way to like end us off on like a terrifying Vader note.
Yeah.
One final stretch. One.
Prepare the escape pods.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
That's right. This.
About these things.
What is it they've sent us?
Oh my.
Hope.
Hope.
I'm not gonna lie. That looks really great though.
I mean,
I think it looks way better than fucking.
than Tarkin.
Yeah.
I'll give it that for sure.
Yeah,
They put a lot into that one word because, like, the lips are always the hardest part to do.
Reject Nation, you ever look back and realize how little you actually learned about money growing up? For me, like many of you, it was always start investing when you're young. No one ever told me how. And honestly, for the longest time, I was too overwhelmed to even try. And that's why I'm grateful. A, grateful because I already use this product. And B, I'm grateful because we're sponsored by them today. Acorns. Acorns is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you have right now. Even if all that is some spare change. Best part, you don't need to be an expert, thank God. Acorns recommends a diverse portfolio that can help you weather all the market's ups and downs. You guys have heard me talk about Acorns before, and that's because to this day I still use it. I'm an investor. I'm fancy. And for me, it takes the pressure off. I wasn't suddenly going to try to learn everything about the whole stock market. I was just taking small, consistent steps. And over time, those steps added up. One of our team members, won't say who, but they once used their Acorns money to get them out of a financial emergency. That stuck with me. So you can sign up now and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. You can head to acorns.com/rejects or download the Acorns app to get started. Once again, it's acorns.com/rejects or download the app. And since we're dealing with money, it's probably best that I do say. An endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 1 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisor LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/rejects. Thank you again, Acorns. Dude, oh man.
Oh, didn't Greg Fraser
I did not
shoot?
expect to get fucking emotional last some of that. I was like, oh, we're saying, but I really felt like we watched an experience that was like the next chapter, not like let's go back and do this. You know,
Yeah.
I had a very. I wasn't really able to successfully divorce myself from the reality that this is a movie that came years before the Andor show.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so much of it feels in line with the characterizations up till now, like especially
that's
for
what's fucking brilliant about it.
for
Yeah.
Diego Luna. You're like, damn, you really do feel like the next phase of this guy, like exactly where we left off with you. It's crazy.
So to say bye to him was really sad. That was hard. Yeah. And in K2SO, man, I was like, oh shit, man, you
Sacrificed
this
himself.
And
Benjamin Bratt.
Let's talk more about it, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen. First off, Prepper. Thanks for writing down these highlights. I'm going to give an additional mention to these guys. They've been near the war zone territory, or I don't even know what the right terminology is. It's been terrifying, and where they're located led to some like troublesome times, and we were like, it doesn't matter, go to the office. No, it's not the tone of the conversation.
Must go on.
It was not the tone of the conversation, and it would surprise me the other day when they were there, and I was like, are you guys sure you want to be here? Like,
Yeah.
only be here if you feel safe, because if you don't, and the fact that they were still doing some work while like in a terrifying, scary thing, when they I assured the head of them, like, hey, if no one wants to come in, like, please don't even encourage the opposite.
Yeah,
because I don't fully understand the parameters that are happening or the perimeters that are going on in your guys' vicinity. But I wanted to say fucking thank you. You guys are. I say a lot, like you guys are an extension of the channel and everything, but what you guys have done over the weekend is insane to me, that you still like delivered and showed up and everything. And thank you very much. That means a hell of a lot. And the whole company as a whole, for even the other teams you guys edit for, the other reaction channels you edit for, like I know a lot of you guys still stood behind. So thank you, all you guys, but especially our team. Really, really appreciate it. And yeah, we watched Rogue One after covering Andor, and I'll say, man, I gotta say, like, this ended up being more worthwhile than I anticipated, and we knew it would. And it's been like an interesting era of Real Rejects, because lately, you know, we've been watching a little bit more movies that are films that we did see this once, but we don't really remember. That's been a lot of like the tone of a lot of what we've been covering. Yeah. Whilst other things are brand new for sure. We still do a lot of that, but a lot of the tone has been that. And I like how we get to go in and give. Here's what's different about this one though, compared to the other ones. A lot of them are plain and simple, just don't remember. And part of the fun rewatching has been the different perspective that we can have, not just from who we are as people in real life, how we've changed and how our point of views in life have evolved, grown, or whatever, but having a different type of film experience. Like we did Jack Reacher movies after covering the Reacher season 3, and that was great to go back and like have this comparison to it. And this is the most unique rewatch experience I think we've ever had, where even when moments did feel familiar, it felt like a first time watching. Like it's like in a movie or show or a lot of like anime stuff that I love, where like, oh, now you see it from this perspective and it feels like a completely different thing, and after you see it from this perspective, and to get it from Andor of such a brilliant show, and to see like this seamlessly transitions. It is seamless.
It is freaky how smooth the transition is.
It's phenomenally seamless. Like, and what really aids is too, in a weird thing that we didn't bring up at all during the reaction, is like Diego Luna looks like the same.
I know. So many of the people involved, but especially Diego Luna, looks like he did just fly off screen into this movie.
Benjamin Bratt looks the most different.
Definitely does. He looks a lot older here. It's weird.
And also, I would say Genevieve O'Reilly looks very different.
Sure.
You know? In fact, in the Andor show, like, she looks really natural here. And I didn't say it during our reaction for the Andor show, but in the Andor show, it kind of looked like, oh, she's doing a costume for how she looks in Rogue One.
Sure.
A tiny bit.
Sure.
I wasn't like bothered when I saw her, but it kind of has that, where she actually looks a lot more natural here in her fitting.
I think you would prefer that almost because too where that occurs in the Andor show, you're toward the end of that, so it's not it's not a big enough incongruity to really take you out or anything like that. But I get what you mean. It's like, it looks like more. That's one of the less seamless elements in a show, and then transition to movie filled with seamless elements.
I remember loving the movie when I first saw it. Not like this, though. To quote Switch from The Matrix.
Not like this.
Not like this. Not like this. This is wild to me. It's kind of weird, right? It's like kind of wild.
This is a rare experience you get with, like, is there another? There has to be maybe one or two, but like a movie where you can watch it and then all of a sudden, they build this whole other appendage that goes ahead of it that then completely doesn't even recontextualize the movie. It just deepens the context that much more, because it's like, I think the first time when we all saw this, it was like, oh, this is like way better than a single sentence out of a crawl text would have you believe it could be.
Yeah.
And then you look back on it, and then you come into it now post Andor, and you're like, oh my God, this is the culmination of so much stuff. And I expected sitting down here that this would, be like a fun cherry on top, and it would be kind of like a neat coda to everything. And like, we know that they get there and they get the plans delivered. But this felt way more vital and way more like up to the moment. And like, it's fascinating to watch something where, like, I know I have literally seen this before, but contextually speaking, especially, it feels like the first time.
Well, let's start with like the tiniest of characters to show the impact of it. Melshi and General Draven.
Yeah.
Two people that I had to be Melshi, I was reminded of in between after watching 7 through 9 that it's I think it was a Screen Crush video that reminded me that Melshi's in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I to the life of me, maybe it wasn't even mentioned a Screen Crush video, and I wasn't looking up at the time. General Draven, I legit had no clue he was in this movie.
And he's here throughout the movie.
Watched all of Andor not thinking he's in it.
Yeah.
And when you watch this on its own, I don't see how you would possibly be invested in them outside of, I need to see what they do because it adds importance to things that move forward.
Yeah.
But as characters, I'm not like, Melshi's barely in this film. And you feel that bummer of it. In fact, I said, unceremonious death scene because of how much screen time he gets in the final episodes of Andor and the relationship he has with Andor, that in the context of having the show, I'm like, oh, this feels a little unceremonious in the way how he died.
Yeah.
But, without the show, though, of course his death would be treated with a way that doesn't feel like it needs to have this much of a focus, because he's a character that people probably won't even really remember. And now imagine that, but for the bigger characters, like, whoa, to have an impact on the presence of the smaller appearances, even with like Mon Mothma, who I know is like around, like Mon Mothma and Bail Organa are like they're all throughout the Star Wars lore and in a variety of ways, right? And different appearances. But man, to do this with K2SO, Andor, and Krennic, Saw Gerrera, yeah, dude.
Well, this would be our live action introduction to him. So, like, he's just kind of way back in my memory banks of seeing this without all the Andor stuff. Yeah, like I remember you brought this up during this watch of thinking that perhaps he's like a bit over the top, and I remember people generally being like, man, Forrest Whitaker's kind of unhinged in the movie. And then when you see it on the heels of Andor, like, again, it feels so much more natural and fleshed out, even though, like, within the confines of the movie, it's not, it doesn't change the text of the movie, but it does change. Like, I've never experienced something like this before with a film specifically, where again, I guess every movie should be able to stand on its own, but this really picked up a lot of weight and quality. And yeah, like even a character like that who was like a neat but, kind of larger than life presence the first time now becomes like this vital, volatile character. And without the full recollection of like what's going to happen, down to the nitty gritty details, like it brings back, especially with a character like that element of unpredictability and that tension of desperation that, resonates throughout this. And like, I don't know, even with the Melshi thing, I'm of two minds, because part of me is like, there's certain things that obviously play out because this was a contained movie and you're not going to get as many sentimental moments with people. Part of me does feel like there is a nice illustration that this movie gives that, like, literally sometimes the fight is just throwing your body onto some other force in order to create a crucial opening for somebody else. And while it would have been nice for Melshi to get like a moment, part of me is like, well, here on the ground in all this firefight, like that's just how it goes, and like.
No, I meant it more in like, letting the camera linger on him or something.
Yeah, of course.
Like when Baze dies,
Yeah.
he dies in an explosion, but the camera's like linger on him.
Yeah, gives him his. Whereas like he dies off camera and we cut back.
You cut back, he's just dead.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, fuck Melshi.
Fuck him. I'm glad he died the way he died, and we didn't take a minute to commemorate his life.
The Saw Gerrera one is right when I was like, whoa, this is going to be something different, because like Saw is a character in that I've experienced in Jedi, Fallen Order, Clone Wars, so we've experienced some other mediums, and this guy was like spanned this so much time in there, and like what's cool to me about it is I think that flack that Forrest Whitaker got was memorable, but yeah, I remember hearing a lot of different sides of it, well, two sides, and one side that had a loud voice, I don't know if it was minority or majority, is that he is really like over the top. And
chewing on
like
scenery.
too big,
Yeah, too much scene chewing.
And you saw Heat. Do you know one of the things about it became known like famous behind the scenes stuff with Heat with Al Pacino, with his character in that, why he's so like loud and crazy.
No,
his character is a cocaine addict.
That was going to be my guess.
Yeah, but they didn't put that in the movie, but that is a part of his character.
Sure.
That's why he behaves like that in the film.
Yeah,
and then I felt like I started thinking of that with watching this.
Sure.
He's a drug addict.
He's strung out, and he just keep huffing. He's huffing just kind of on the regular. It's like his state of being now.
But I thought. I really thought when I first saw this that it was like an oxygen thing.
Yeah, and it's not fully confirmed here either, but yeah, you get the sense of like this must be like a slow delivery of rhydonium vapor or something like that.
I think what I would notice in his performance is that the paranoia, as they established in the show, would be amplified. So the paranoia would kick in, and I think when he would hit it, I keep forgetting the name of it.
Rhydonium.
When he would hit the rhido, it seemed to him the way he communicated was that his suspicions were now confirmed.
Yeah.
It's not that he took it and his paranoia went down. It's that I believed my paranoia.
Confident in my conclusion, paranoid though it may be.
Yeah. Saw Gerrera is, and it suddenly makes you really like this moment.
Yeah.
In some ways, what this movie feels like to me is, and I said it during, is that it's a sequel, like when a movie gets a sequel show.
Yeah.
A sequel movie. What am I trying to say?
When a show gets a sequel movie.
A show gets a sequel movie. And a lot of times, though, when a show gets a sequel movie, it feels like an unnecessary thing they're doing. They wrapped it up already in the show. I think people like the Sex and the City movie, and maybe there's some importance. The Entourage movie or something. There's a lot better examples. Like
My Hero Academia movie,
where I kind of feel like they gave us a version of Andor in an alt world, it's like, oh, Andor season 1 and 2. Andor season 1 and 2 ended, and then they didn't get to complete their story, but they allowed them to do the movie to complete the story.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think what it made me appreciate about Andor is Andor doesn't do any appearances like with anyone where it's a wink at the audience, like, hey, we're a prequel.
This guy's coming down the light.
We're a prequel. You know, they don't do anything like that. You see that it's a prequel, but there's none of that shit, which is why this feels like a perfect next chapter, because there's none of that winking. And I think something that subtlety goes a long way in what makes this feel like the completion of now watching Andor.
Well, and this is a movie that isn't doing a lot of winking either. And so, yeah, like the congruity makes sense, because if you did have a series that was heavily predicated on that, then it would feel weird that the movie doesn't do that. And then, yeah, the way the events of the movie play out feel like they also inform the kind of just disposition, the demeanor that the show strikes, and the way that, I mean, it's interesting. We talked about the feeling that, like, man, if this had a couple more moments, and if this was, you know, like another 3 episodes of the show, they probably could have, you know, taken their time for a couple things. But I think it is a testament to the fact that, like, it does feel like, with a slight bit of expansion, this could be like the 5th cluster of episodes in Andor season 2 that would then truly cap the story off.
Yeah.
And
well, the themes are also similar too, of like, this whole story is about the sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so much of Andor.
The whole thing is sacrifice.
Andor show is about sacrifice. Messengers and sacrifice.
And two, I mean, yeah, it builds well off the last chapter of Andor there, because that is where we lose so many beloved characters, and there is such heavy cost and sacrifice of our specifically, you know, Rebel Alliance, you know, core characters. And like, it's a real beautiful feat of reverse engineering. Like, it really is, in many ways, if not all, you know, seamless. And it really feels like, even though so much time has passed, you're not really distracted by like people looking different, but B, like, yeah, like just the soundness of the themes, and again, this the way the timbre of how events tend to play out here, just, yeah, feels very sort of palpable, and like, yeah, any random little thing could go wrong. And, you know, you might like somebody and they might have to make a noble sacrifice pretty quick, and they might not be here very long. And it does like create this different atmosphere where like you appreciate the present moment of characters more, because like it's really cool for a franchise where so many of the installments have a certain level of like, well, you know that such and such and such is going to happen by the end. You know, this, I think the only thing that you're able to know is just that they'll get the Death Star plans, but like everything else feels very sort of like by chance. And I love that, you know, Andor is a show that has, again, so many characters who we don't see here because they died, characters who we don't see here just because they're not here. And like, you meet a lot of people for brief spats of time, some people for longer stretches of time. And so like that pass through really feels alive here too, where like a certain character might come in briefly but make a big impression and feel like a memorable part of this collective effort that everyone is. Yeah.
It's really impressive.
It's like I've never felt this feeling.
Yeah. I can't lie to you, man. I've never felt it before.
It's so special.
In a strange way, it has given me, I have not felt super hopeful or super excited about Star Wars lately. I haven't, plain and simple. And I've said it many times that if there's any of these franchises that they've brought back and have tarnished some of its reputation, it's Star Wars.
Sure.
Star Wars had the beauty of like, oh, we're going to do the sequels now. And you know, Force Awakens was well received. Everyone's like, good, simple, formulaic Star Wars. All right, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Good.
Not too big of a swing.
and Rogue One was good. It was great. And then, you know, after Last Jedi, the course changed. So much started changing. You know, like bad would get overshadow good, like when you would have a Mandalore, like fighting in the fandom would overshadow everything is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And because I can't be here and be like, this is good, this is bad. Like, it's all up to opinion, but the fucking friction and the hatred towards Disney's and then it would affect the execution of the projects. I mean, so this reignited this excitement and hope and wanting for more Star Wars now, because of how they managed to pull this off. So much of Star Wars does. Stays in this one fucking timeline for some reason. When you have the galaxy at your disposal and you could traverse the multiverse, out of everyone who could traverse the multiverse, it's probably Star Wars, but they don't ever seem to really do it. And this suddenly feels like, I don't know how to quite quantify my feelings on it. The fact that they were able to do a prequel show where even then people were like, is this really necessary? Do we really need a show about Cassian Andor?
On the face value, it seems like the stereotypical thing of like, let's make a spinoff about random character number 5, but it's the purpose of the character and the themes that the character and the surrounding characters involved carry with them.
It's the strongest case I think we have felt with probably anything of let's fill in some blanks and make filling in those blanks genuinely better, stronger, and more rewarding and surprising. And that way when it feels like necessary viewing, like from the Andor show to Rogue One is fucking brilliant. Like Andor has that one moment here, and they hint at it throughout the character of when he's talking with Jyn and when he recruits his team, is like, we've done bad things, and then the show, that's what the show's about, is all those things. Yeah. The show's about some of those lines. I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old, as he tells her. All this stuff. And I remember not really being gravitated towards Andor when I first saw this movie. And like, I remember thinking he's good, but I don't recall him being one of the big takeaways for me. And something in my brain is telling me, like, I feel like I could see some of the things they're going for, like, he's a little bit broody and a little bit dark, but rough side of the tracks, and building up the choices he will later make. But here, I was so fully like attached to him because it's usually when they do a prequel. Usually when. Like, if you watch X-Men Origins Wolverine, let's just even assume that was a good movie. Hugh Jackman looks so fucking different to how he ends up looking in X-Men 1. Yeah. That it feels like two very different associations and performances. So, to have this here, it's a massive undertaking. And something I did, like, you don't even watch fucking Andor, the show, so that way you could get to Rogue One or see the tie-ins to Rogue One. You're not even watching it for that purpose.
Not even thinking about it. Like,
no,
it's weird.
That's my point. Yeah,
it's good at pulling you into the present moment of like, I guess that's the worth in quality drama, because it's like, there's a conversation that often pops up about prequel anything, because there are a lot of stakes that are handled for you already. And I think like the thing about the Andor series, the joke would often be like, Andor's not the most interesting, or is he even the lead character? But I think like they've taken, again, this crucial event, and they've managed to flesh it out in a way that really sort of like begs the question of like, what was the human cost of getting here, and what all did it take to do that? And, as of the show, Andor goes from being, this sort of directionless, scavenging, self-serving character to being this, complete, convert to the cause. And it's like in the movie, I remember seeing this the first time, and I was like, I like Diego Luna, but I don't really like have a major attachment to Cassian Andor beyond just like, I kind of like this guy. And so like, I was wondering going into this movie if he would feel like, because I care so much about him now, is he going to feel like he's not in the movie very much, or if he's like off to the side?
He's going to feel less depth, a little more diminished.
Yeah. And I am really thrilled that it didn't feel like that. Like, he felt like a full present character in the movie. And again, because the show did such a nice job of building stakes by showing you other people, it make sense then that we would shift our focus a little bit towards Jyn Erso and have Andor still going through, various iterations of his journey, especially in the more cold-blooded aspects of it, or the aspects that are very much sort of like on the mission and divorced from the humanity, because that's what we have to sacrifice sometimes to get the job done. And without, needing any kind of, it didn't feel like anything was missing, and it didn't feel like anything was out of place with him in particular. And it's mind blowing. It's like a little bit mind blowing the way they were able to do that. And I think too, there's
suddenly his performance is massively enhanced.
Yeah, and it all makes sense. I'm astonished in a way, and I guess it would make sense because, again, I don't know. I would imagine that he didn't get to develop the character in this movie every step of the way with Tony Gilroy, I would imagine.
I think Tony Gilroy did give him 24 scripts at first.
Okay.
I think he gave him the first 2 seasons.
I've just been sitting around writing specs.
I just really like Andor.
I just think this guy's really cool, and I came up with the backstory for you.
Yeah, and it involves all these other people too.
Yeah. So you're gonna want to get to know them. Just to have your homework in mind.
Yeah.
But this feels remarkably like the homework he did for this is in line with what later we will see before all this happening in Andor. And granted, we're on a part of the timeline where, as a character, all that stuff would have already happened. But, we're on a part of the planet Earth that we live in timeline where, half this stuff wasn't a twinkle in anyone's eye yet. So, so it's a strength to him as the performer. And I think it's also a strength to, they probably had to look at this and keep you don't even have to do that. But, they probably looked at this a lot and in subtle ways made sure to keep that sort of continuity of tone and of spirit going.
And even beyond Saw Gerrera, his performance with the Rhino and everything, it's also his development of his faction in the rebellion, of how they're attacking these certain cargo ships now, and now they're all coming to Jeddah to come get him.
He feels like a present. It's weird. In the original viewing of this movie, you feel like, it's like a cameo kind of, or a little brief appearance. But
they brought a Star Wars character who's only been featured animated. That's what it was. I remember thinking that it felt like a character from the animated world's being brought to life.
And hey, he showed up for a couple of minutes. How cool! But here you're like, the whole part of the immediate conflict is because of shit you've been doing, and now they're hovering their ship up here. And when he first shows up to save her, you're like, oh snap! And it's a different part of the timeline, so it just enriches the character that we know up to this point, and we know where he's gonna go. And then when you see him in the present, and when you see his end, it feels like the completing of something that was set up before, not just I met this guy and I've seen him in some animated shows, and now he's dead. It's it has a. I'm just so kind of chuffed that it is so well rounded in so many ways, despite how disparate some of the elements are, and despite the behind the scenes whatever that happened with this. It seemed like the making of this movie could have produced a way more jagged, disjointed experience. And it's remarkable too, because I know there's been a lot made about how much Tony Gilroy did to amend this movie in various ways, but I mean, it seems like both of the voices are in there in terms of this is about the spirit of rebellion. It's thematically on the Gilroy wavelength.
There's zero scenes in this movie that match the amazing dialogue of Andor.
No. There's no time for that shit.
In fact, that's one of the that's one of the aspects of this where it's not disappointing, because having the awareness that this is done years ago before Andor.
None of this was in mind at the time.
Because here's the reality. If this was the actual reality of it, they got a sequel movie, I would be disappointed by that.
by the lack of that writing quality, especially.
The lack of because this one is very straightforward. And a lot and in the first time viewing without the Andor show, and also at its time when it came out, with what are they going to do with Star Wars? What can they do differently with Star Wars? It was a bit of a game changer, it felt like an actual war movie for people. And I remember saying that too. Like, it felt like an actual war movie. It's a little bit more gritty. They fucking kill off everyone by the end.
Everyone we like.
You know, it's pretty bold moves, and it felt like grittier. You know, in comparison to Andor, the show feels like exceptionally more grittier, exceptionally more ugly, exceptionally more tension filled and stuff. And what's cool about this though is this feels like when Andor starts to really go into the Star Wars world with the music that they have here. That's like a big part, because the music really helps determine a lot of the tone. Yeah. And like would this be probably cooler if they like did more of what the Andor show did? Sure, of course, I think so. Yeah, but what we got to have it like be an adventure that doesn't seem to negate the tone of the Andor series, still carries over the theme, still carries it over, because you're kind of transitioning into feeling more Star Warsy. Yeah. In this journey,
classic Star Wars.
Yeah, because it starts off very dark with Krennic showing up and killing Mads Mikkelsen's wife, and then taking Mads Mikkelsen and her being alone. Starts off very dark, and then Andor killing that one guy who he gets information from. So that's really feeling like, oh, we're picking up where Andor left off, and then we start transitioning the tone to be a blend of both something that feels more classic Star Wars with the grit of the Andor series, whereas like the Andor series kind of strips away all that tone of Star Wars hopefulness and excitement and rousingness, and just leans into the ugliness. And so I think that's kind of like a really fucking cool thing that I'm swearing a lot in this one. That's kind of like I think that's actually a really cool thing that they did do the blend, that it is a blend of both. And maybe in the real world, maybe they wanted to go like lean further away from this usual Star Wars tone and go full grit, and maybe they had a studio note where they had to blend it.
We don't want to go a full war movie. We just want to go a little bit more war movie.
But yeah, what do you think about Krennic?
Oh man, I mean, like, again, fully bolstered by everything we know up to this point, and two, like I already enjoyed, at the time this came out, like I was enjoying the rise of Ben Mendelsohn in various parts, and I feel like this is part of his kind of being plucked into, playing this kind of role a lot. But I thought, as far as Star Wars villains go, it's like as of this movie alone, I remember being like, he really showed up. He brought his A game. His performance was memorable. On top of then Andor, I think it's fun because you have an even greater depth with him that gives this movie a different flavor with him, because you realize at the first time you watch it with no context, you mostly feel him sweating at the very end when he's like talking to Vader and Vader's choking him and stuff like that. Whereas here, now you go in realizing that like, oh no, this dude like needs this to work now. And as much as he's trying to keep, his steady composure and his imposing nature intact, like he is up against Tarkin, and Tarkin is like, we've seen all these illustrations in the show of people being burned after taking these massive risks and dedicating everything to the Empire, and now you in this movie get to behold him as part of that food chain in a greater sense, and obviously if you just watch this in isolation, he's just kind of a bad guy. But I still think that his performance notes worked well enough that then once you combine with Andor, it feels like a fully complete character. And like watching him sweat here does feel like, damn, it really is like there's so many surprise kind of showdowns that are created by the events of Andor that some characters don't even realize are happening. But you're watching two very important paths collide. And for Andor, for the series, Krennic does become one of the main faces of the villainy of the tyranny. This is one of the main heavy players we need to stop. And that does give this, I think, now like a greater sense of just it makes it feel more momentous, because when he finally shows up and it's the three of them on that platform, it's like you pointed out, we've not really seen them meet much, if ever, but there's still now a greater sense of like, oh, it's not just that he's meeting the bad guy, like he's meeting with this guy who he's been up against in so many different contexts up till now. And he's foiling his grandmaster plan, and this plan that, while it is all powerful and awe-inspiring, is like a desperate act. It's all just a bunch of desperate acts. And I like that flavor with Krennic becomes more into high relief, I guess I would say here.
I agree. You said it best. There's nothing really more I can contribute to that, man. You said it the best.
I mean, I guess one thing I'll add before we, if it's because
there's more I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, like I think this is interesting, and it comes out through characters like Krennic and stuff, like and talking about the transition into Star Wars. Like at the time this came out, I remember thinking like. And since other movies have come out, I often come back to the thought that, like, I think this is the best of the movies they've made post original trilogy and prequels. And it's not a perfect movie in isolation, certainly, but I do think in a weird way it is showing us, and the success of Andor on top of this, and the fact that this was successful enough to merit the Andor show in the first place, speaks to the idea that I think this is kind of like the Star Wars we need right now, because this is the most relevant version of this story to the time we are currently living in. And it's like the sequels and a lot of the other stuff are stuck in this nostalgia mode where they want to feel, not only do they want to directly reference the text of other movies, but they want to feel like those other movies.
They're also stuck in lore mode.
Yeah, and I think here they literally, and through Andor, they went like, what is the construction of an empire and a rebellion and the conflict between, and how are those things built and fought?
Yeah.
And those are different ideas and those are different flavors. And here, that's alive and true also, even though it's not as gritty as the Andor show and it doesn't have as many on-screen treatises about the nature of rebellion, of war, of sacrifice, all those things. It still feels like it's speaking to the harsher world that we live in this moment, and the instruments of tyranny that are at work in this version of society, rather than a more an earlier, simpler time.
True. Well, yeah, I mean, I think this is very much a PG-13 movie where Andor borders on R.
Feels like, you forget about the rating on Andor, whereas here you can feel it being PG-13.
yeah. And sometimes in terms of its content too, but I really do love the movie. But yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's perfect though. Like I had some issues during my experience with the portrayal of Jyn Erso. Felicity Jones is a great actress, and there were parts in the transition that we were commenting on that I'm sure a lot of you guys more than likely do not. Again, this is our point of view, and it's really an easy habit when you do YouTube videos to get focused on what the disagreeing opinions will say. But there was this. I felt like she looked a little too polished for so much of the movie.
Often,
and that grit doesn't come in until the wear and tear, the dirtiness doesn't come until like the last 10 minutes with her character. And she'll be surrounded by a bunch of people and the main crew who all look dirtied up, and she still looks polished.
Yes.
And I think that actually does play into effect, because then parts of her performance start feeling less varied and more like, okay, your character has to go here now with its emotion. So, all right, you're a little bit resistant now.
Yeah.
You're resistant because of your past. And then 45 minutes into the movie, when you see your dad's message, suddenly you're all gung-ho about the rebellion. And I think there were shades of grief that were kind of missing, or like you said, casting a pall over the performance, like some moment there of she's got to sit with her loss or let the pain of that kind of resonate over. And then it weirdly contradicted, as you pointed out when we were watching, that it was weirdly feeling more hopeful. And I think it would sometimes lose its shading, is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like of course they would feel more hopeful. They're coming together and they need hope right now. And it's Star Wars. They need the hope. But there should also be this other layer that did feel like it was missing. It would seem like, okay, only play to this one layer. For specifically Jyn Erso, it feels like the direction she got was, okay, now that we're here, you only play to this one layer. Now you're here, you only play to this one layer. So it would feel like layers would be missing, making it fully three-dimensional. So I could feel like the notes being told. But in the latter half, I liked her a lot more. None of it ever came down to actually her acting, is what I'm saying. It actually felt like a direction problem.
Yeah, and I like her. I feel like, yeah, when she's in the first half of the movie.
And I think she's also out of all the characters, she's the main characters. I found her to weirdly be the least interesting one.
Least interesting in a way. She's the least, again.
Which I hate saying because I know she's a woman. Sorry, I didn't interrupt that. I feel bad because I'm like, fuck, she's a woman, and as a guy, I do hate saying that.
Well,
so I'm trying to explain that it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, get your women out of my Star Wars, or oh, Mary Sue or anything.
Yeah.
I think there is something about, like we don't. This is the only place we get context for her, which is a bit of a detriment because, it's like when she's brooding in the first half of the movie, that emotion almost feels like it would be appropriate for once Galen has been dispatched. But that's about the time where she starts to really double down on the rebellion, and I do wish the movie had an emotional through line for her, because we're not really like tied to her perspective. Like, I like that this is an ensemble movie, and this ensemble movie is attempting to position her as the lead, but I never really felt like that fully happened. And there's not enough beneath the surface beyond, like, I like her origin, and the things we see her go through as a little girl are striking, certainly. But I don't know. Yeah, there is like a depth of humanity, to put it too pretentiously, I guess, that like feels like it's missing. Like you said, it's sort of like one dimension at a time, and I feel like you could have had some really lovely poetic moments in between things for her to actually get to grieve her father, but then latch onto the idea that she needs to carry on, because in doing so she can, honor his legacy and his true life. So I feel like there's a lot with the personal stuff there that doesn't really feel like it's even attempted here. And I feel like there are a couple of times where they go out of their way in the dialogue to be like, it's hope. They're giving us hope.
So can I, as you were talking, what dawned on me is where I think the part that feels most emblematic of what we're talking about, and the fact that you just said that right now, is her speech to the rebellion. When she's in the room with Mon Mothma and everyone there, and they're all like, no. When she starts giving her speech, she's giving the Star Wars hope speech to the rebellion in this moment. And it did feel like the one-dimensional speech that you give, rather it being rooted in like a pain of like my father and this disagreement. Why are we finding like you guys are the rebellion? You're supposed. Why should I be? I didn't feel any of that like when Andor show did it better, when Diego Luna is presenting information to the council at the end, and it's like the three of them. Draven, Mon Mothma, and not James Smits,
and
Bail Organa. Yeah, and they're all like, I don't know if we can believe it. This is coming from Luthen, and how freaking defensive he was getting about it.
You can tell he's really riled up and impassioned in the moment.
And that is not there in that speech. So I'm like, I should feel like moved. And rebellions are built on hope, and that's a good trailer line. Yet there's something about this scene that is not quite doing it for me right now.
I want to feel like hope has been awakened in you, and I want to see you choose to look up.
We need the internal fight, not just the physical.
No, totally. Yeah, you want to feel in the heart of the character this awakening to the idea that I can't just keep my head down, look at the floor, and not involve myself in. It's that thing they say, everything is political. And in a story like this, as it is presented, like everything is political. And everything is, in some degree, a matter of livelihood and the death of that livelihood. And so a lot of her, it's weird. I like her as a performer. I liked watching her here. There are a lot of great moments with Jyn. But as a character on a journey, I never really felt like they gave her much life or humanity, and I feel like this is a movie that compensates for some of what is lacking in terms of, like, again, discourse via monologues or whatever. They'll give characters a little, I don't know, a detail, a twist, a flourish. You don't get to know Chirrut and Baze that much, but they're so engrossing, and you feel like you get to know them because
you feel their whole history.
Yeah, and because you have these like very knowing and very sort of handcrafted details that get to adorn them, and I don't feel like we really got that with her. And she also has the most sort of, again, stock character story and motivation, you know, like, they killed my parents and I went on the run and now I'm, you know, just out here kind of drifting and I'm, you know, I got a chip on my shoulder, but then I'm going to be called to a higher purpose.
Weirdly, with all the other characters in the Rogue One crew, you don't know their backstories. She's the only one whose backstory you actually know.
I feel like I know her the least.
yeah.
I knew freaking Bodhi. Like he felt like a full-fledged character,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have any flashback or any real, like, you don't know much about what led him to this moment of defecting.
You don't know if he was like enslaved into the Empire or if he had Empire beliefs.
Yeah, if he wanted to become a crack pilot and then woke up somewhere down the line or something like that.
Yeah, had
Like,
philosophical changes, the alluding to history between the relationship that he had with Galen Erso and how, like, what I think I said was his performance seems so rooted in courage over fear. And he doesn't get like shit ton of dialogue, but that consistency and urgency of performance is there, and it makes like wanting to know his backstory. Like that want to know their backstory feels stronger than knowing Jyn Erso's backstory.
when it gets you filling in the backstory because you're just inspired and you want to and it's fun versus like, I'm just trying to come up with a reason for this character.
And like the relationship with Chirrut and Baze. Again, that's another one. Like they give a little bit of cool Star Wars lore, like Guardians of the Will and being people who are religious or like
Spiritually
spiritual.
attuned to the Force, even if they're not wielding the Force.
Yeah, that's a neat element, and you could see that sells the whole blind guy who can do all this shit maneuver because he's still in tune and uses it to some extent, and like how Baze has turned his back on it due to life and not knowing the specific details, but it's kind of like the amount of faith that Chirrut has kind of keeps Baze's faith in like the oven a little bit.
It keeps the pilot light of his faith burning, even if he's not really lighting it fully.
It's like set to 2 on the stove.
Yeah,
or lowest mode possible. Even if he's like, I don't really feel like it's cooking in me.
Yeah, but you're so convinced, and you seem to get through life on it. So I'm not gonna fully rule it out.
Yeah, and their back and forth is great, and Donnie Yen is just brilliant in it too. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're so right about like the stuff they're wearing, even freaking Baze's gun looks like something. They don't say it, they don't allude to it, but I would imagine like this is something this dude put together himself.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like you can just start. It just stimulates your creative brain to observe the details and then think to yourself. It's the times you watch a movie and go, I'm sure they know what that's for. It's like I was listening to something about Nosferatu, and they were like, oh yeah, he put a bunch of shit in the drawers, and like no one's gonna see that. That's just for the actors if they happen to open the drawers. And it's just like things like that, like little things that suggest the life of the character. And sadly, yeah, I don't think it ruins the movie or anything. And I like watching her, but it is a character who I am very sort of emotionally ambivalent toward when the movie is not running.
Yeah.
And I like her as a performer, and I feel like all the potential was there, and it would have been nice to, I think really what you needed was a big emotional fulcrum. Because like in the first half, she's brooding and she's obviously got a lot of past trauma that she's been stuffing down, and she's living this, again, sort of scavenger life. And I feel like the how quickly she's reunited with and then torn back away from her father should be like a pretty impactful thing, and something that I would imagine, not that everything has to be histrionic or melodramatic, but something that like I can imagine a scene like breaking down, and then maybe Andor or somebody kind of have leading to some level of conversation of what's it all for. Your father, clearly he was in bed with the Empire because of something for some length of time, authentically perhaps, before really realizing the full scope of what his work has contributed to. Like there's so much to answer for, and there's so much to unpack there, and there's so much that's beyond her as a character, that's not her responsibility as a character, but that would affect that character. And I feel like there is like a big chunk in the middle that feels like it got excised because we just got to get on the mission and there's no time. And I get that events work like that sometimes, but in a dramatic movie, there's just so much emotional. It feels like the movie throws you a bunch of interesting prompts for this character to experience some real memorable swell of emotion, and the movie does not accept any of those prompts.
Yeah.
Or like the emotional payoff doesn't really get brought on by any of those prompts, sadly.
I agree. I think we should move on from it.
Sure.
I think we talked quite extensively
We've done
about
too much. Props to Felicity Jones.
And
you did what you could.
The whole experience, though, as a whole, is really cool. And like one of the awesome elements about it too is, even though one of the things I said earlier is that if this had come out after Andor and it was missing the dialogue that Tony Gilroy brought, the way how this movie doesn't really have any like truly great dialogue. Like there's some lines that are cool, but like I can imagine if Tony Gilroy really went to town on like how that Vader scene, the first dialogue Vader scene would have gone down, like how different it would have been. And that's one of the moments in the movie that's kind of pulls me out. I love the final moment. I love the final, like how it segues into New Hope and to get this moment of Vader. And it is one of the coolest lightsaber moments ever, and probably Vader's coolest ever. And Obi-Wan show gave us more Vader, but I'm like, nah, this still takes the cake. It's
a cool cherry on top of the show with no lightsabers finally gets like a truly memorable lightsaber sequence.
To end it again, it makes it for the transition of the Andor into Star Wars.
Yeah.
And but the scene with him and Krennic, I found myself going, do we really need this conversation to be with Vader right now? Like, I
get to speak to your manager.
I get the intention. Like, I understand the context for sure, especially because he's trying to get to the Emperor, trying to overrule the shit with Tarkin and protect his name because Tarkin's really ruining everything for him. Totally get it. But there was something about the execution that felt like such an Easter egg moment for a thing for a cameo moment for the audience. It didn't feel treated the way how the Andor show would, even when like think about when Krennic shows up in the Andor show, he's there. It's not like a big like let's clap.
They don't do some kind of like build up montage where it's like, oh, first it's his feet and then it's his shoulders and like, who's it gonna be? Oh my God, it's Krennic.
But the excitement, though, again, to put it in the context of when this movie first came out, this was our first time in many years we're getting Darth Vader. So totally different, and I understand. Now that hype is down and we can just watch the movie, the scene is executed in a way that I did find myself going, if we had like Tony Gilroy really like on this scene, like, this probably would have felt menacing. There would have been like real tension instead of what dialogue do we need to insert into this scene?
He would have felt like a bad guy meeting with a truly evil guy. You know, and you would feel like the just the darkness of context permeating in that scene.
Whereas
here was more like a cool Star Wars moment.
Let's read some facts here. Let's see what we can unpack. Gareth Edwards, you want to read the first one, John?
Sure. Gareth Edwards and his creative team uncovered some old film canisters while rummaging around the Lucasfilm warehouses. That just sounds so cool to get to do. When he asked what they were, and employees said they were old Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope footage, the discovery led to the inclusion of unused Episode 4 material featuring Red Leader and Gold Leader in this movie.
Cool.
That is correct.
Yeah, you caught that.
Because you can see the change in the film stock. Oh my God.
Andy and Alan Tudyk improvised the slap across Cassian Andor's face. And there's a fresh one if you mouth off again.
He improvised that line? That's crazy.
As I was watching it, this improvisation made Diego a little break character. I didn't know this.
He cracked a smile that you can see in the final film. It's wild.
I didn't. I found myself questioning, like, did Alan Tudyk like come up with any of these lines because they just felt way too good. Okay, I'm looking for like the good juicy stuff. Where's the good juicy stuff?
Juice? Where's the juice?
Yes.
Let's get the Terra juice.
Red 5's X-Wing is a sign that's reassigned to Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
Come on.
Wait.
All right, here we go. Screenplay stuff. What's up?
Oh, I was curious.
Which one?
the stormtroopers can be heard on the beach talking about the VT-15 going out of commission. This is a parallel to the scene in the episode 4, A New Hope, where 2 stormtroopers are overheard discussing the new VT-16 being quite a thing to see. That's fun.
Okay, so in first draft of the screenplay, Jyn and Cassian survived the events of the film, despite director Gareth Edwards wanting all the heroes to die. After speaking with Kennedy and executives at Disney, he expressed this opinion, and to his surprise, Kennedy agreed and gave him permission to kill off the characters.
That's cool. Well done.
Wow.
It's funny. All this stuff surrounding Andor, I feel like, and Rogue One generally speaks better to, just like people love to dog on Kathleen Kennedy, but like everything I hear about her interactions with this show and movies seem pretty inspiring, actually.
Carrie Fisher passed away over a week after the film's cinema release. She was able to see the film before her death and reportedly squealed with joy at seeing the younger version of herself at the end of the movie.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. Good for her.
Oh, that's really cool. Come on. I want to know like the writing shit, all that shit, all the rumors.
I was going to say, should we do a word search for like Tony Gilroy? Oh, it's the first movie where no one mentions a Skywalker.
Let's go to AI, baby.
Hey.
All right. What was the behind-the-scenes drama for
Drumroll, please.
Rogue One
regarding Tony Gilroy
movie? When did Tony Gilroy join, and what did he do? Because I thought he did like. It's kind of crazy how I like took over Andor and like Gareth Edwards isn't acknowledged at all.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the visual presentation and even some of the just vibes of the movie, some of the themes like fit in with Gareth Edwards' voice and style. So I am curious.
All right, let's see here. Okay, this is gonna be a little long. Production of Rogue One experienced significant behind-the-scenes challenges. During its post-production phase, Gareth Edwards completed principal photography. Disney execs were reportedly dissatisfied with the initial cut, leading to extensive research and reworking of the film. Here it is. Tony Gilroy, known for Bourne and Michael Clayton as a writer, he wrote and directed Clayton, right? Yeah. Was brought in during these reshoots. His involvement included rewriting key scenes, directing reshoots, and overseeing the film's editing process. Whoa.
That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of authorship.
Damn. I wonder what Edwards' relationship is with this movie then. Gilroy's contributions were substantial enough to earn him a screenwriter credit despite not being the original writer.
Sure.
That's gnarly. Gilroy later described the project as being in terrible trouble when he joined, indicating the extent of issues faced during production. His efforts were pivotal in reshaping the film's narrative, particularly the third act, to deliver the final version that audiences saw in theaters. While Gareth Edwards remained publicly supportive of the collaborative process, reports suggest that Gilroy's role was instrumental in steering the film to its success completion. Oh yeah, I can't imagine Edwards has a good relationship with this movie then.
I so hope that one day, like a real, because I feel like, the information out there amounts largely to this, and like someday I hope there's a tell-all of like what really it was, because I'm like, what was that first cut supposed to look like, and what was added, what was changed?
I mean, you can find stuff where there's so much trailers, like the shot I remember in. Let me see if I can find it here. Just Jyn Erso TIE Fighter. The shot I remember, that shot right there.
Oh yeah,
where she's looking. This must be the moment where she sees she encounters Krennic on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like, that was such a cool shot in the trailer, and it was not in the movie. So like a moment like that, yeah. There's this shot right here of Jyn Erso too, not in the movie,
wearing the Imperial garb.
Yeah. So there's like definitely some stuff that are different, but I think that's really cool. It's kind of like he's like how Christopher McQuarrie got involved. Did you see Tom Cruise's speech at CinemaCon online? He talked about how he had worked with McQuarrie on a couple of films, but how his relationship, the true extent of how their relationship actually formed was because of Ghost Protocol. They were having trouble writing the climbing the
Burj
building.
Khalifa.
Yeah, having trouble with that scene, and then he called up McQuarrie's like, "Hey man, I could really use your help." And then McQuarrie came up with like some of the best shit of that movie in terms of dialogue and writing. And after that, it turned into, wow, we gotta like do everything together now. And Gilroy,
you're my guy.
Yeah, because Gilroy sounds like that. Like he wasn't he didn't have any original authorship, but then he became so much more than a writer, and now he like oversaw this. It's like this became Gilroy's franchise. So in spite of, it's pretty crazy, and I could see that because the movie doesn't feel. Its voice doesn't feel at odds with itself. I would say, like it doesn't. If anything, it felt like there was probably some studio notes that were given, but I didn't feel like the director, the behind the scene. It didn't feel like a Frankenstein's monster the way how people often correlate a movie that goes through this amount of process.
It is astonishingly polished for what apparently happened, and I'm curious to know if Gareth Edwards wrote the creator, because this also seems like one unique circumstance in which like I could see why and how this would be the Star Wars Gareth Edwards would want to do. And I feel like, you know, it's getting at ideas. Like I get the sense that he wants to make, you know, smart or, you know, sci-fi movies with some kind of strong thematic element regardless. But I could also see how, like, one of the shortcomings of the creator is that, like, the script is not quite as rich.
It's the same writer of Rogue One.
Okay,
it's Gareth Edwards and the writer of Rogue One.
Okay, see, that's interesting.
This must have been them both being like, felt like they got dicked over.
Yeah,
Rogue One,
now we gotta, you know,
Yeah.
go off and you know, make good on the promise that was made to us, through this. And it's like I like so much stuff about that movie, and the one place that for me it falls kind of short is that, you know, like its reach is further than its grasp in terms of like the themes and how it articulates the themes and how nuanced it's able to get while also delivering a cool, crazy action sci-fi spectacle. And I feel like in this particular case, I could see how he would lay down really solid bones for a project like this, but then you would get or need someone like Tony Gilroy who like really seems to know intimately and be well read on, again, the machinations and structures of war and all the themes that this movie, like, it seems like they went to the exact right person to go like, hey, we need to push this a little further on this thematic road. Can you bring all that together? And I feel like it is just like down to the fact that like they made the right choice of who to get to fill in the blanks. Like in so many cases, I imagine you're doing that frantically. So you're kind of getting anybody who's mildly trustworthy and who you can get at all. Whereas here it seems like they got the right person and gave them what they needed. And that brought it all together. As much as I'm sad for, you know, one creative to be sort of usurped on a project, at the same time, part of me wonders if it would be enough that it was to where we got Andor based on if it was just the original cut, basically.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for being here. Thanks, John, for being the best kind of friend to be on a journey with this on.
Likewise, man. Thank you. This has been really cool.
This has been great. And let us know if I have to map out. This takes me several hours every time I have to do it. I have to map out the whole schedule tomorrow for the next month, and I am just alarmingly gone a lot this week, and to do other stuff. So I'm like, if we have to do the Star Wars movies, I'm like, I will not be opposed to that.
I would love to do that.
Let us know. It all depends on how well this one goes down right now. Otherwise, we will stick to the other current plans. But thank you guys. Really got to get the heck out of here at this moment. But thank you, and may the Force be with you. And be sure to subscribe, leave a like. Thank you, Prepper, once again.
Yeah, seriously, guys.
We'll talk with you guys soon.